You found my name in the rain on the porch. I kept it small like a pin in a glove. Your shadow leaned on the apple crate step, and the clock in the hall would not answer us. Stay a little while, stay a little near. Your breath on my cheek like a borrowed fear. Dance me slow, paper moon lace. Hold my hand in a stranger place. Hold my hand, sweet and still we could disappear. Dance me slow and leave me here. Your collar was white, but your eyes were bold, like a key in a jar with a secret hold. I heard the boards count softly our feet, and the room grew thin as a candle leaf. Stay a little while, stay a little near. Your breath on my cheek like a borrowed fear. Dance me slow, paper moon lace. Hold my hand in a stranger place. Hold my hand, sweet and still we could disappear. Dance me slow and leave me here.
Hi, you guys. How are you? I hope everybody is doing well. It's good to see you guys. It's been a minute since I've been on the channel, just to give you guys an update of things. Chicky Nuggy is back home. She's doing well. They've just given her some like an inhaler, and she needs to continue her antibiotics. So she's doing good, and just being her little spicy self. So thank you guys for all the well wishes and prayers for her. I appreciate it so much. She's doing much better. All right. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that, yes, I am going to stream the Lindsay Clancy trial starting tomorrow. The only day that I'm not going to go on a delay is tomorrow. Because the very first witness is her husband. And I'm very curious how the state is going to treat him, because he is a witness both for the state and the defense, as I understand it. So I'm very curious how the state is going to handle him. And so I'm not going to delay that one. We'll start when, well, let's see, I guess they start at 9, so it's 8 Central. Anyway, so we'll start on time, and then I would imagine that we will have plenty to talk about during the lunch break, so it won't seem so bad. But then the rest of the days, I will probably start an hour late. So if they start at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, I'll start at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. That way we can skip lunch, skip through the lunch. So that starts tomorrow. So today, though, we're going to cover the Austin Drummond attempted murder trial. So basically what happened was, back in 2024, Austin was incarcerated. He was serving time on a 13-year sentence from a aggravated robbery conviction. He was a juvenile when he committed the crime, but they chose to prosecute him as an adult. And so let me just make sure I have that right. Yeah, 13-year sentence. So he was so there was the fight that, and I'll let you guys judge for yourselves, but they are going to play the security footage, it's not a fight. It's, in my opinion, it's an ambush. A fight is a one-on-one. This was two-on-one. It was Austin and his co-defendant, Andre Brown, who attacked Timothy Singleton. So anyway, he was serving that 13-year sentence. He finished up the 13-year sentence. They released him. Then he got charged with the attempted murder and the contraband in a penal institution, which the fact that that's the charge is just, I don't know why it makes me, a penal facility, let me correct myself. It's the penal part, you guys know, it just makes me giggle. I can't help it. Maybe one day I'll grow up, but not today. So they released him and then re-arrested him and charged him with attempted first-degree murder and contraband in a penal facility. He was out. He made bond. He was out on $100,000 bond. Okay. That is when he committed the quadruple murder and the kidnapping, and then led the authority, and then was on, there was the manhunt for a week, what am I trying to say? A multi-agency. Geez, Jen, come on, get it together. Manhunt for him, which they found him a week later. Now, there are other people who are facing basically aiding charges, aiding and abetting charges. There are 4 other people facing those charges related to helping Austin after he committed the crime. So that trial is kind of we had the pretrial hearing, right, where he wanted to represent himself. And the judge was like, no, bro, it's not going to happen. Like, you're being ridiculous. And your reason for wanting it is because you're basically being petty and ridiculous. So we don't have a firm trial date yet on that one. There's going to be a change of venue. So there's a lot of things that they have to handle in the interim. But this trial only took 2 days. They sat the jury very, very quickly. And that is what we are going to watch. And I'm going to tell you guys, and you'll see, I'm going to put it on the screen now. You'll see. Hold on a minute. Let me close this. We don't need to see the top chat replay. You'll see when they bring Austin into the room why it's going to be a little bit of a roast as well. I'm not, this guy has like a ridiculous rap sheet. Like, he got in trouble, right, for the aggravated robbery of the gas station attendant, okay, back in 2013, right? Is that right? Let me just check my notes. Let me make sure. Yeah, 2013, July of 2013. Also of note, July of 2025 is when he committed the triple homicide, and August of 2024 is when, or 2023, excuse me, August of 2023 is when he committed the attempted murder in prison. And in between that time, so the summers, I guess, some people have different times of the year when it's difficult for them. The summer is not a good time for Austin, apparently. Also, in between, in those 13 years, he got a number of charges while incarcerated. So, this one is kind of like a side quest. And the reason that I'm covering this is because he is going to trial for that quadruple homicide. He killed his girlfriend's, 4 members of his girlfriend's family. And so, and then the baby he kidnapped and then abandoned in a car, left the baby in a car seat in a neighboring county in Tennessee. And the reason that I wanted to cover this is it is a little bit of a side quest, but this is what he was out on bail for. These charges, he was on bail when he committed the quadruple homicide. He's acted a straight fool inside. They've had to move him. They can't hold him in the county jail. They had to move him to the prison because he's been acting such a fool. And he testifies in this one. And that's why I wanted to cover it, because I wanted you guys to get an opportunity to see him testify. So because basically he's claiming that this fight was self-defense. So I'll let the trial is over now. But so we'll just go through it. All right, let's get started. I'm also going to speed it up just a little bit. We're not going to watch every single bit of the testimony because it's not really necessary. I think that truthfully, I want to get to the victim. I want to get to the victim's testimony. He testifies first. And I want you guys to see the video, and we'll just take it from there. We're going to talk about that, Kelly. Good to see you, by the way. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. All right, here we go. Also, the camera operator in this trial is I don't know what the deal is. Like, it zoomed in at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay. So it's just, I'm not sure what's going on, but that's the deal. All right. And his they're being tried together. I forgot to tell you guys that part. Austin and Andre are being tried together. So let me allow you to see the hair du jour. Okay. So there it is from the side. And see, why are we looking at the judge, bro? You could have followed him. We needed to see the back of the hair. So I really appreciate the here. There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's leave it right there and let's just have a little chitty chat about this haircut du jour. In the front, he's clearly going for what? 2010 Justin Bieber, the swoosh, the swoop. And in the back, it's just a blunt cut, because it was at one point sort of a long in the back, kind of not, it wasn't quite a mullet, but honestly, this is awful. And frankly, it looks like a wig. It absolutely looks like a wig, especially in the back. It looks like it doesn't fit. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And yes, it's like some weird, Chacto said beatnik style. It's like some weird hybrid of the Justin Bieber swoosh, the original Beatles, the hairdo they had on the Ed Sullivan Show the first time they were, broadcast in America. And then just it falls apart in the back. Like, I don't know what happened. What is going on there? It's like, I just cannot take him seriously at all. Like, it's just like, what were you? I mean, I know that you clearly, asking him, well, what were you thinking? I mean, obviously he is not good at decision making. He has very poor decision making skills. So this is a mess. All right. But they're going to talk about something in the very beginning that there's going to be an arguments about his gang affiliation. And I wanted you guys to hear that, because I'm not sure how much, if at all, will be let in his upcoming trial. But this is out of the presence of the jury, so we get to hear about it. All right. All right, hang on. Let me get to it. Should just be about there. I think they're waiting to bring in his co-defendant. Also, just while we're waiting, because it's almost there, I just want to tell everybody that the attorney representing him in this case is not the same attorney that is representing him in the capital murder trial.
Testimony of Timothy Singleton to give a motive, intent, and a full explanation of the reasons that the assault took place on the day that it did. We expect this testimony will be that Mr. Drummond and Mr. Brown were both members of the traveling vice lords, that he was a member of the Cicero vice lords, and that a few days before this, the traveling vice lords had assaulted a couple of other, I think two, other members that were Ghost Mob vice lords. He said when that happened, or his testimony will be when that happened, that he felt bad for one of the Ghost Mob vice lords and he gave him some clothes and a blanket. And because of that, the traveling vice lords felt like he was interfering in their business, which is the reason for this attack. We are not putting this group on, we're not asking to do that, or propensity evidence at all. It would be, this is a 404B issue, and as you know, we have to have the jury out here, which we're having now. The court must determine material issue exists other than character trait. And upon the request of the state, on the record material issue that exists, the ruling and the reason for giving the evidence. The court must also find proof of the other crime or wrong act to be clear and convincing, and the court must exclude the evidence if its probative value outweighs the unfair prejudice. This was addressed in State v. Thacker, which was a case out in our county, and the court held in that if motive is a relevant circumstantial fact that refers to why the defendant did what he did. And that's what we're trying to show here, is the reason that the defendants did what they did. Evidence of motive is often permitted as a basis to infer that the act was committed to prove representative state or prove the identity of the actor. The possession of a motive strengthens the inference of the death of the victim, or in this case, the attempted murder of the victim was caused by an intentional act rather than by a natural accident. Also for proof of gang affiliation, the court's held in the State v. Grant that gang affiliation evidence may be admissible for non-propensity issues of identity, motive, and intent. Those are exactly the reasons that we're asking to present that today. It is to show the motive and the intent of the defendants for committing the crime. There are also the courts held that admitting gang evidence in a first-degree murder, or in this case an attempted first-degree murder prosecution, that it was admissible. The court did uphold allowing that evidence, and found that the evidence was admissible for non-propensity purposes by proving the identity of the defendant as perpetrator. As providing the necessary contextual background, and contextual background evidence is important, and that's what we have here, Your Honor. This is part of the contextual background. It's important because knowledge of the events surrounding the commission of the crime may be necessary for the jury to realistically evaluate the evidence. And that's the situation that we have here, because this is a situation where if they just observe a video and there's no explanation, then they're going to be left wondering why this happened. And with this testimony, it gives the full contextual background of what occurred on that day. And Your Honor, for those reasons, we would ask it to be admitted in the evidence. Let's take it allowed to ask the question.
As to both defendants?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to make a motion right here, right now. I don't know who it is. It's not the judge, because it happened while the judge was speaking. Whoever's mic is unmuted while they're clearing their throat, please mute your mic. It's rude.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Your Honor, just I promise you I will be very brief. The state filed this motion, as I stated 2 days ago. This case has been pending, relates to an incident that occurred August the 29th, 2023, and the indictment came down in, I believe, September of 2024. And we've been sitting on this case for nearly 2 years, and we're just now getting this 2 days before trial. It's a critical.
Hang on a minute, sir. I don't want to be rude or whatever, but part of the reason why you've been sitting on this case for 2 years is because your client over there committed, this is Austin Drummond's attorney. His last name is Hayes. Your client over there committed a quadruple homicide. That's why. So I think, you'll pardon the state for getting this last minute. I mean, come on.
Critical development in the case. We do object to granting the state's motion unless the court complies with the plain language of Rule 44B. And in order to find the evidence that the state seeks to submit clear and convincing, I mean, that phrase, proof of other crime, wrong, or act to be clear and convincing, it refers to proof. It doesn't refer to a statement of counsel. It refers to proof. So in order to find that proof is clear and convincing, the plain language of the rule requires the court to hear the proof outside the presence of the jury before making a decision on the state's motion. And that's my basic position.
Your Honor, we would also object to any inference of gang evidence in this particular matter. This case has been pending for 2 years. We've had plenty of time to do discovery, plenty of time to do examinations, interviews, things of that matter, and then just taking General Goodman back to word. I think he can get at what he wants to get at without saying the word gang. I heard that the fight was over because somebody gave one person some clothes and some blankets, and that makes some other people mad. So you can say clothes and blankets without using the word gang. I don't know if a gang is a particular, I don't know if they were selling clothes and blankets or something like that. That's not the allegation from the state, that they had a block of territory up here and it kind of violated an unspoken agreement. None of that was taken or said or presented or anything like that. So I don't know why we need the word gang. If it's not to imply gangs are associated with criminals. Criminals do crimes, these are criminals, they must commit a crime. That's the whole purpose of this look evidence in the first place, and we also agree that sufficient proof is not been presented.
Anything else?
No.
State has filed a motion in limine proposing to admit evidence of gang activity in connection with the allegations of the indictment. Mr. Farmer points out this is an incident that occurred on the 29th, 2023. The motion itself recites that at the time of the institutional investigation, the victim declined to make any statement about the activities. The state indicates that they only learned of the gang activity as of July 20, 2026, which would be 3 days before trial, when it met with the victim for trial preparation. The motion was filed, at least the court received a copy about 40 hours before the trial was used to begin, and at that time, I don't think service of the motion had been effected on the defense counsel there. The lateness of the motion prior to trial presents some concern to the court because of the inability of the defendant to adequately meet the allegations of the motion by either witnesses or either for the hearing itself or during the trial there. And again, I think it was a fair characterization that this is a critical development in the case from an interest standpoint. So the court had very much.
Whoever that is, clearing their throat directly into the mic. What is happening here? Is there no etiquette? They're not going to let this in because it was late in getting in. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to get to, he's going to read jury instructions, and there's going to be opening statements. All right, now we're going to get to the actual video. All right, here we go.
Yeah. I don't.
I'm just going to say this. It doesn't appear from this video that they have control over that prison at all. I mean, let's look. Let's go back. Not that much. Let's just go back a little. Watch when it happens, how long it takes for the staff to react. And when they do react, they actually go after the victim, not the, I'm going to have to look up and see where this is, because if he was sentenced to a 13-year for aggravated armed robbery, that's got to be prison. That cannot be jail. That's a felony, and it's way more than 2 years. So let me look up this place and see where it's at and see what it is. Because I'm pretty sure it's prison, which makes this actually kind of worse. Yeah, this is not a jail fight. This is a prison fight. This is prison. So it does look jailish, but when I looked it up, it happened at the Northwest Correctional Complex. Is a state prison located in Tiptonville, Lake County, Tennessee. Oh, people also ask, all I Googled was Northwest Correctional Complex. Here comes Google. People also ask, does Tennessee allow conjugal visits? Well, I'm going to click this tab. No, Tennessee does not allow conjugal visits. There you go. What time is bedtime in jail? Let's see. Bedtime in jail or prison is usually 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Sorry. So there you go. Those are the most frequently asked questions about jail, conjugal visits, and bedtime. It does look jailish to me too, but it is a prison. But thank you, Taco Tuesday. This is what I'm saying. The staff is frankly useless. Correct. Also, the contraband that Drummond had in his hand was a toothbrush with like a screw attached. So yeah. And also 2-on-1. Like, come on. And I got to say, for 2-on-1, he's being stabbed. Singleton put up a hell of a fight. He gave those two punks a run for their money. Hey, Tess, good to see you, babe. It's been a minute. All right, here we go. So there's the fight, which is not a fight. That's an ambush. And they're not even tending to this guy. Look at him. And they still have people running around unchecked. MK, I knew you'd ask that. I'm not sure, babe. I think he made it. I think he used, I think he Martha Stewarted. He used items located in his cell. Okay, here comes Chacto being the voice of reason, which is true, but Chacto says staff don't like getting involved too quickly unless they have backup. Those deputies are overpowered and outnumbered quite often. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Good to see you, by the way. Okay. It's good to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, do me a favor and give your girl a thumbs up.
Your Honor, that's all the state wishes to blame. We've been asked to make this state exhibit.
Can we get the lights back on now?
All right, so they're going to turn the lights back on. There's going to be some more testimony, blah, 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 blah. But who I want to hear from is the actual victim himself.
Mr. Wilson, did everything that you testified about today in this video that occurred in Lake County, Tennessee?
Yes, sir. All right, that's witness.
All right, so now this is the victim, Timothy Singleton, and he's going to say, he's about to testify about what happened, when it happened, and why it happened. And that's who I want to hear from. All right, here we go. Also, I hope the fan isn't too loud in the background, but look, Texas has decided that they were unhappy being at the 9th circle of hell, level hot. So they had moved for a while to the 7th, then to the 5th. No, they're still displeased. Now we're at the 3rd level layer of hell. It's so freaking hot here, you guys. I don't think I ever complained about the heat in Florida the way that I complain about the heat here in Texas. Probably because my AC worked correctly in Florida. I'm very salty about it. Maybe I'll do a members only and really just unleash. I was telling Minnie and Bendy about it, and she's just rolling laughing. All right, here we go.
Do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Okay, could you state your name, please?
Timothy Singleton.
And would you spell it, please?
TIMOTHYRIGHALDSINGLETO.
Thank you, Mr. Singleton. Singleton, it looks like you're currently incarcerated, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Can you tell me why you're incarcerated right now?
I have attempted aggravated robbery and aggravated burglary.
Okay. And that's the sentence that you're serving right now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know Austin Drummond?
Yes.
You know who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is. I didn't know his real name, but I know my age.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom?
I can't say I do. It's been a while, since about this, I've seen people change.
Okay. All right. What about Andre Wright?
Yes, I know him well.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You got 49 places?
Sure is.
Okay. All right. And were you previously in housed at Northwest Correctional Complex?
I'll say this. I find it interesting that he was able to identify Andre, but not Austin. He wasn't able to identify Austin, which I'm curious about that, because if you guys remember, late in 2025, Austin filed some stuff on his own, and alleged there was like text messages that I guess he was trying to say were between. He said he was an informant, basically, and I mean, there was a letter between the district attorney's office and Austin Drummond's lawyer about that. So I'm curious why he is reluctant to identify Austin. Let me slow him down just a tiny bit. Put it back at 1. Because I really want to hear what he has to say, and the audio isn't the best.
Yes, sir.
How long were you there? Do you remember?
If I'm not mistaken, from 2019 to 2020.
Okay. And were you there on August 29th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Were you in the same pod as Austin Drummond and Andre Brown?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, did you know what Mr. Drummond looked like and who he was?
Tess, are you talking about the victim's original crime or Austin's original crime? Also, did I miss you and MK's birthday? I'm sorry. Happy birthday, late, very late, to both of you guys. I appreciate you both. I hope it was fantastic. I hope you were spoiled rotten. No, Austin's original crime was aggravated robbery when he was a minor, a juvenile, but they in 2013, but they had elected to try him as an adult. And that's what he held up a gas station clerk. That was his original. That's what he was originally in there for. I need to know when y'all's birthdays are. So one of you guys, if you I mean, Tess will email me, MK. I know. So if y'all have the same birthday, I'm going to know. I just want you to know that I'm going to know, just so you know. Because I want to be able to wish y'all a happy birthday on your actual birthday, not 7 years later.
I didn't so much know him, but I knew exactly what he looked like.
You knew who he was?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recall an incident that took place on August 3rd of, August 29th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Singleton, have you seen this video before?
No, not until you showed me the other day.
And when I made a visit and talked to you, did you see the video on that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this video an accurate depiction of what happened on that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in this video, there are several people around. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know where you are?
Should be at the phone near the back window.
Okay. And is that on the left or the right?
From where I'm sitting, it would be on the left.
The other left. Okay. I don't know if can you see that arrow I'm moving?
Yes.
Okay. Is that you?
It should be on me on the phone right there.
But that was my next question, what you were doing.
I was on the phone talking about this.
Okay. Had you had any problems with anyone that day?
No, sir.
Any arguments? Anybody threatened you or you threatened anybody that day?
No, sir.
Okay. So you're just on the phone talking to your fiance?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to start this video and I'm going to stop it in a minute, okay? You will just watch it. Okay. We'll stop it right here. I tried to. Okay, right there. There's an individual in a blue shirt. Do you see him?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that guy?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, I know.
Did you know him at that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And he walked over to you at that point. Did he say anything to you, or did he give you anything?
No, he didn't give me anything. I gave him a piece of paper and a pencil. He didn't ask me for it,
Okay. He asked you for a piece
so.
of paper?
Piece of paper, pencil, whatever the right time, he used the right time. I told him to get a second, and after I got off the phone, I handed it to him.
Okay. So you gave him that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything else in your possession?
No, sir, not that.
Did you have anything unlawful or illegal to have this prison in your possession?
No, sir.
Did you have a weapon?
No, sir.
All right, well, let this play again. Okay, that gentleman walked back away, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, do you stay on the top level or the bottom level?
I stayed on the top.
Top level? Okay. All right. Can you still see this arrow that I've got here?
Yes.
Okay, can you see this individual's here?
No, sir, not really.
Okay, if you watch that spot, can you just keep an eye on that area? I'm gonna let the video play if you can do it, okay? And do you see a second individual closely behind that one?
Yes. Okay.
And are you still on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, can you see the individual that's close to you?
Yes.
Who is that?
That's the AD.
Who?
AD.
AD?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I know, but I didn't know his last name until they put it on my,
When you say AD, are you referring to Austin Drummond?
yes, sir.
Okay. There is another individual coming down the stairs here. Can you see that individual?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who that was?
At the time I didn't, but when I seen the video, it was, right over my 20, so.
Okay, what, is that Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you're still just talking on the phone right there, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Were you afraid of anything at that point?
People get a sixth sense, so I felt something out of pocket. I was just telling my wife that I love her if something happened, just to know that.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let the video play. Now, once again, did you have any weapons out at that point, or?
No, sir, I had none at all.
Okay. Okay, at this point, what did you think was happening?
They were trying to kill me. I mean, that's what it was. In total honesty, after the first strike from Mr. Drummond,
Did he have anything in his hand?
he raised it. I didn't particularly see it until I felt it.
My next question, did you feel something?
Yes, sir.
What did you feel?
I felt me and myself being stuck multiple times in the face, head, back, chest side.
Okay. We'll let it play. Now, I see you swinging. Why are you swinging at that point? Did you have a knife in your hand?
Fighting my life.
Fight for your life. Okay. At that point, it looks like the fight has stopped. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. What were you trying to do at that point?
Now I was just trying to get away, and I was bleeding from the face, trying to catch my composure.
Okay. We'll let it play. Okay. Is that you backing up?
Yes.
Are you trying to get away from
Yeah,
him?
I'm trying to back up on this.
Okay. And is this Mr. Drummond?
Yes, sir.
What's he doing at that point?
He's approaching me again with the knife.
Okay. Were you afraid at that point?
Yes, sir. It's bleeding profusely, so yes, sir.
And what does he do there?
He's still trying to stab me at that point.
Did he just tap you on the leg? Right
No,
there?
actually,
He's trying to stab you.
trying to stab me, but I was kicking with my legs, so he was just, I guess, fending it off. But I had no stab into my legs, so It was just a defensive,
Okay. All right. And there, Mr. Brown. Did he come back for another attack, or what was he doing?
I'm not for certain. I mean, to be quite honest, at that point, I didn't really know how many people it was. I blacked out after I got stabbed the first time.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, do you know what this is on the floor?
Yeah, that's my blood. It was coming from my face.
Okay. What about over here on the floor?
Probably my blood also.
Okay. Okay. At this point, did you receive medical treatment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you get that treatment?
Me. They called a code. They walked me to the infirmary.
Okay. Were you able to walk on your own to the infirmary?
Yes.
Do you remember much about that?
So if I just really get into the infirmary and taking pictures and leaving the hospital. After that, after the medicine, I was really incoherent when I was in the infirmary after that.
Okay. And you answered this, but I'm going to ask you again. I know this may sound like a silly question, but were you afraid for your life?
Yes, sir.
Did you know the reason?
Now look here. These two defendants, Andre and Austin, are probably half this guy's age. And Austin had a homemade shiv. Okay. This guy only had his wits and his dukes. That's it. Punks. I can't, but I will say, to me, what it looked like, I'm just going to say what it looked like. It looked to me like Andre and Austin were putting in work.
That you were attacked that day?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Had you ever had any disagreement with Mr. Drummond?
No, I wouldn't say a disagreement. I helped some gentlemen out with some clothes and clothes, but I wouldn't call it a disagreement. I didn't think so.
Okay. What about Mr. Brown?
I've never had a problem with Mr. Brown.
Never had any issues before?
Nah, we've always been upstanding people together.
Was this a shock to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have any injuries as a result of that attack?
Yeah, laceration in my face, cut through my whole face. Stick your hand through my jaw to the inside of my mouth.
Let me ask you about that and go through some of those with you. How many times total were you stabbed?
They counted 17 times.
17 times you were stabbed? Okay. I'm going to hand you a picture and ask you if you can identify it. That's Mr. Singleton, can you identify that picture?
Yeah, that's being confirmed that it's got placed.
Is that the day that it happened?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me about what kind of injuries that you see there? You can have the picture if you need it.
Right there, that's the injury to my face, where the laceration to my face.
Yes, sir.
Outside of the jaw to this side. And you really can't see the other little lacerations on my body or on my head at the top.
I'm going to show you some others in a minute. Tell me about the one on your face.
The one on the face is the long laceration. Like I said, it was deep to where they had put stitching on the inside and stapled on the outside. But I just stick two fingers in and touch my tongue.
You can see your fingers all the way through your jaw?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you stabbed anywhere else on the face or head?
On top of my head and lower.
So the state says that they went after him because Mr. Singleton gave a rival gang member clothes, and a blanket. And apparently, that rival gang member was not supposed to be. He helped, and he wasn't supposed to be helped, and that's why he did it. That's why they did it. Now, Drummond says that it was self-defense. And Pointer Lover, thank you for being a member for 31 months. I appreciate you, babe. Thank you so much. But yeah, the way that they came at him, to me, I don't know another way to say it. It looks like they were putting in work. It looked like this was retribution.
Those on the face with on top of my head,
How many times were you stabbed on top of the head?
just once.
Okay.
The rest were on my back and side and
All right. Would you make that an exhibit of your testimony, please? Would you hand that? Whoever would like to make that an exhibit.
No objection. They admitted as exhibit two.
Singleton, I'm asking you to look at that picture and identify it also.
that's the same day. Stabbing on the side.
Okay. And do you remember how many injuries you had on the side?
I think that is the only one on that side,
Okay.
but you can see the one on the front of my chest.
Okay. How many did you have in the front?
I think there was two in the front, when I say that one and the one on the other side.
Two in the front.
Two in the front, the rest were in the back and side of the head.
Okay. So the head, the jaw, two in the front, one on the side.
The rest of the back.
All right. Your Honor, we make that an exhibit as well.
Should be admitted as exhibit four.
Okay.
Excuse me, that's exhibit three. I can't. I wonder if that's a sign of old age. I had already read it. I knew it was coming.
Mr. Singleton, I have one more picture for you. You identify that picture as well.
Yeah, that's the cuts on the top of my back.
Okay. And how many times do you think you were stabbed in the back?
There was multiple times I couldn't really count. I know they put a lot of staples in it when I was in the hospital.
How many staples did you receive overall in stitches?
Overall, maybe about 35, 40 staples. Most of the stitches were inside and outside.
Stitches were inside your mouth and the rest were staples?
Yeah. Okay, stitches inside and then stitches outside.
You know, Becky, I was thinking the same thing. Becky said, I hope this guy doesn't get any more crap from the other inmates for testifying. I hope so too. I hope that, because initially when this happened back in 2023, he didn't want to really talk about it. And so I'm sure, I feel like they probably did move him. He's older now, so hopefully he's in a situation where he can't be gotten to.
Yeah, make that exhibit also.
All right, I'm almost certain this will be exhibit four.
Mr. Singleton, were you taken to the hospital?
Yes, sir.
What happened when you got there?
They assessed the problem and went to work on trying to stop the bleeding. And some pain and stay with me, I was sitting back.
How much were you bleeding?
I lost a lot of blood. I had 3 times full of blood on the way to the hospital.
I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. That's not me. That was them. I think somebody bumped the mic or stepped on the I know they knocked the feed out for a minute and then they knocked the audio out too. So still knocked out. Come on.
To Davidson County Circuit Court, correct?
That's correct.
The same Timothy.
All right, now we're going to hear what his crime is, as if,
Again,
look,
you are
I don't, I mean, there would be an exception, right? But he's there for aggravated robbery and I think attempted murder is what he said. But it's not, I mean, obviously it's a violent crime. But at the same time, he was ambushed. This was not a fight. This was an attack. That's different.
the same Timothy Singleton who on February 7th of 2020 was convicted of attempted aggravated robbery in case number 2019 C 2132 Davidson County Circuit Court, correct?
That's correct.
And you are the same Timothy Richard Singleton, who on February the 25th of 2021 was convicted in case number 2020 C 1393 of aggravated burglary in Davidson County Circuit Court, correct?
That's correct.
And you are the same Timothy Richard Singleton, who on the same day, February the 25th of 2021, was convicted in Davidson County Circuit Court in separate case number 2020D 1980 of aggravated burglary, correct?
That's correct.
And you are here today telling the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that that this whole incident started with you just innocently standing there talking on the phone.
As far as I know, sir, only thing besides me standing there talking on the phone, when I helped the gentleman out with some shirts, covers and t-shirts, shorts, covers and t-shirts.
You were just doing an altruistic thing.
I was helping some people that I knew that needed some clothes and covers.
That's the kindness of your heart, correct?
Yes.
And if I understand you correctly, you're also telling the jury that you handed what'd you say you handed to
There was a piece of paper and a pen to the gentleman walked over to me.
the piece of paper and a pen? And on August 29th of 2023, the day that you got in the fight, remember that day, right?
Yeah.
You talked to prison officials, didn't you?
I went to the front. Yeah.
Well, isn't it true that you declined to make a statement on August 29th of 2023?
Tess, sorry. Thank you for being a member for 37 months. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, babe. I appreciate that. Neat says, I wouldn't do well in prison. I don't think they have a pasty, white, old lady gang. And I don't even knit, so couldn't join the ones that make baby hats for preemies. Yeah, I don't think I'd do well in prison, but not for those reasons. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. I don't do well being told what to do. So there's a lot of rules in prison. You know, you can't just do what you want when you want. And quite frankly, that ain't the kind of life for me. I'm not super big, and I don't really like to be bossed around too much, you know? So that's probably why I wouldn't do very well there. Plus, I always, you guys know I have resting bitch face. Can you imagine what it would be like for me in prison with resting bitch face? constantly having to prove myself in the yard all the time. What a hassle. That's why I don't commit crimes. It's just a hassle. I don't need that in my life.
Yes, I did.
You didn't mention this pencil or paper on August 29th.
They asked me did I have any weapons. I told them I had a pencil and paper in my hand. I gave it to somebody else. That was about it. I had no weapons in my hand.
So you're telling the jury now on July, whatever day it is, 2026, that back on August 29th of 2023, you told somebody about this pencil and piece of paper.
The gentleman that was trying to investigate me asked me exactly what happened.
Who was the gentleman that was
I
trying?
can't remember his name, sir. That was over 3-some years ago, 3.5 years ago.
But you,
I've been through multiple situations, health-wise and everything.
but you don't have any reason to believe that this missing statement about the pencil and piece of paper was recorded in any way, do you?
If he didn't write it down, I have nothing to do with it. I didn't make a statement because, like you said, the penitentiary is a dangerous place. So making any type of statement could be worse off.
Well, you just told me that you did make a statement, did you not?
No, I didn't. You asked me, then the gentleman asked me to make a statement in the affirmative, and I told you, no, I didn't. He asked me about the pen and paper. Because I guess the gentleman told me that I stabbed him with a pen. I said, I had a pen and paper, but I gave it to the gentleman. They asked me about a weapon. So that's when I told them about the pen and the paper that I handed to others. It had nothing to do with it.
So you did make a statement, correct?
If that's what you call a statement, yes, sir.
And Mr. Singleton, can you see the screen in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, can we do the lights again?
Okay, so everybody in the chat, Shacto has graciously offered to fund our little prison. What does Neat Noodle want to call it? Our prison pod, the Ladies of True Crime. Shacto has graciously offered to put commissary in our account, which we all appreciate. However, I feel like we've watched and covered enough true crime either to A, not commit a crime in the first place, or B, we might know how to get away with it. Just kidding. Just kidding. We would never commit crimes. No, no, no.
Let's just see if we can just get the short set of lights right over here, since it's where you're Yes, sir.
Agreed. I agree with Point All Over. If I'm going to make it in prison, I'm going to need access to red licorice and the original flavors of both Skittles and Mike and Ike. Also coffee and 5 Hour, which they probably don't have, which is why I'm not going, which is one of the many reasons I'm not going to find myself in prison.
Mr. Farmer, if you need to move over there. Just don't stand in front of the jury so they can't see.
For the record, we are looking at state exhibit number 1, correct? And Mr. Singleton, you can see the screen in front of you, right?
That's correct.
And that is to your knowledge, the only angle of the fight that occurred between you and these individuals on August 29th, 2023, correct?
Yeah, this is only the second time I've seen the video besides the gentleman showing me the other day. So I didn't know it was any other angle or this thing.
Well, you know that there were other cameras in here.
I mean, yeah, the camera and the
Justified says, which I think is a fantastic idea. Okay, instead of prison, how about we all just meet up in Vegas? Yes, absolutely. Then we don't have to worry. I would have access to the 5 hours, coffee, Mike and Ike's. Pointer Lover could have her red licorice. Kelly could have her heart meds and Ozempic. So there we go. I think we'll be fine. I think Vegas is a way, way better idea. Let's do that.
Can I finish my question, sir? Please?
All right, gentlemen, we're going to do this one way. You ask your question, Mr. Singleton. If you'll wait until he's finished, I will make sure he waits until you're finished with your answer before we start that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Fair play. Okay.
There were other cameras in your unit, correct?
That's correct.
Your entire body is not visible on the screen that you're looking at, is it?
No, sir.
And that's you in the white shirt.
All right, it's settled. This is what we're going to do. We're going to meet up in Vegas. Justified is having a pool party at her place. So Chato, it's going to be fine because we'll go in the off season. We're not going to go in the summer. It's the fucking desert. We're not crazy pants. We'll go when it cools off, right? And every other place, but it's still pleasant in Vegas. Have the pool party, hit the slots. Kimberly's going to give us tattoos. It's going to be a fantastic time. And you don't be a Debbie Downer, Chato. You better show up.
At the bottom left of the video.
Because you know what? This is going to make for a cool story. And guess what? If you don't show, you're just going to be the dude in the chat at the very beginning. That's it. You don't want that, do you? Of course not. All right, here we go.
Correct. And first of all, is my cursor showing on the?
Yeah.
You can see my cursor.
Nobody.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Nobody cares about your cursor, bro.
You see the cursor. You see all the red stuff up there around the cursor,
Yeah.
right? That's not your blood, is it?
No, sir.
Obviously, right?
No, sir.
And you see the cursor now.
Yes, sir.
Those dots below the table, you see those dots?
Yes, sir.
That's not your blood either, right?
Yes, sir.
And you see the cursor now?
Yes, sir.
You see the dots there?
Yes, sir.
That's not your blood either, is it?
Yes, sir.
Because nothing had happened before then, correct?
That's correct.
Did you not tell the jury a few minutes ago that that was your blood?
I showed them the spot where my blood was after the incident when we stopped the fight.
Now, at this moment, there are no guards in the unit, correct?
That's correct.
And you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 other inmates who would have been there to witness what you say was an innocent attack on you, correct?
That's correct.
In fact,
Let me ask you this, counselor. Let me just ask you. I understand you got to advocate for your client, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to announce that every time, although for whatever reason I feel like I do. But here's the deal, all right? We watched Andre and Austin haul ass down those stairs to get at Mr. Singleton. Austin had a shiv. He had a toothbrush that he had affixed a screwdriver to a screw to. Okay, all contraband, right? So if he didn't swing, you can see that he's off camera from that angle, and you can see they attack him. He didn't swing first. Even if he had talked mad cash shit, which I don't think he would, because he didn't give a statement initially because he was worried about retaliation. Stop playing with this man.
The guy that you said you just gave a pencil and a piece of paper to, he would have been able to verify your statement, right?
Maybe he on the phone to get
Not all you gave to.
Yes, sir.
If somebody had just talked to you, right?
I mean, yeah, he was talking to someone.
I just want to finish his testimony, you guys, and then we'll get to Austin's testimony.
Mr. Singleton, at this time, we're at, for the record, we're 19 seconds into the video, okay? And at this time, where's the phone?
On the wall.
Are you on the phone at the time?
Yes, sir.
How are you holding the
My back against the wall, phone to my ear.
phone? So you weren't using your hands, correct?
And I had one hand holding the phone.
You say you had one hand on the
I had
phone?
one hand on the phone.
The whole time, right?
Until I dropped it to let myself.
So you're saying that there's no point before you say you
I
got...
switched hands when I gave him what he asked for, but besides that, no, I was talking to my fiance.
Mr. Singleton, do you know, can you see your left hand on the screen right now at 19 seconds?
I guess that's the left hand on the two hands.
Do you see anything,
This heat is disrespectful AF, Kelly. It's hot. Absolutely disgustingly hot. Ah, thank you, Nate, for gifting me a gold coin. I appreciate that, babe. Ooh, San Diego. That'll be fun. San Diego's really pretty.
do you see a black, something black on your left hand?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It looked like it was darkness in the color.
So you're telling the jury you weren't wearing a glove? Is that what you're telling me?
I might have been.
You might have
I said, no, let me explain this. Over 3 years ago. Okay. These are something that I care not to remember because it comes to my life. But
Yeah, they almost took his life, counselor. Nature Rocks. Hey, thanks for being a member for 39, I can't even read, 39 months. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting me and the channel. Let me rewind it just a sec.
you might have said, no, let me explain this. Over 3 years ago. Okay. These are something that I care not to remember because it comes to my life. But I had gloves on. I might have had gloves on.
You might have.
We work out when we get out there. So I might have had gloves on to work out with. I'm not for certain.
And you might have been putting one on right about the same time that you say you got just attacked out of nowhere after doing this altruistic act with the clothes on, right? You just happened to be putting on a glove at that time. Is that what you're telling me, sir?
The reason I have on the glove, I have no clue. I could have been working out. Did I put it on to defend myself from something I didn't know was gonna happen? No. Did I expect something to happen? No.
And the glove that you were putting on had nothing to do with the pencil and the piece of paper, I assume. Is that your testimony?
The glove that I had.
Well, Red, thank you for being a member for 23 months. I appreciate that very, very much. Nate, thank you so much for the second gold coin. I appreciate that. I will use it wisely at the slots. Big bucks, no whammies. Thank you guys.
I on to put on had nothing to do with pencil paper.
How were you putting on the glove if you were?
I mean, it looks like
If you were holding the phone?
What do you mean? How can you put on a glove if you're holding the phone? Bro, look, you can hold the phone with your shoulder, but here's the deal. He doesn't have his back to the pod because it's prison. Stop playing with this man. I don't care. Your client and his co-defendant, I think this is Andre's attorney, attacked this man. It doesn't matter what the reason was. There's no, it wasn't self-defense. They initiated it. So it doesn't even matter.
There's always a way to put the phone between your ear and hand. You use both hands.
Gotcha.
But it looks like the glove was already on. So I had to be working out before I even got to it.
You just don't know, right?
I don't remember.
Did you see the glove blacking in? We played from 19 seconds to 20 seconds.
It looks like it's in the same position to me.
Now, we're at 22 seconds, and the gentleman in the blue shirt reaches out to the hand, your left hand, correct?
Let's go.
And is that where, is that where the pen and piece of paper were that you say you had while you were also holding the phone? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, it could have been a hand. I could have switched hands when it came up. I mean, like I said, sir, I'm sorry. My recollection is not as good as it should be. After 300, over 3 years, so.
Well, you agree it's really important whether that was a pencil.
I mean,
Can I finish my question, sir? You agree that it's really important whether that was a pencil and a piece of paper or a weapon, don't you?
Yeah, it was a pencil and a piece of paper. And a piece of paper. And a piece of slip.
Well, in which hand was the pen and the piece of paper?
So again, you asked me that question. I told you my recollection is, I don't remember which hand. It was which hand.
Can you see the pen and the piece of paper on the screen?
You see the gentleman reaching out and handing.
You can't see it on the screen though, can you?
No, sir, yes.
It's one of those things that's unseen, correct?
It's that way.
Now,
Oh, this is annoying and painful.
was it your testimony that you had no idea who the guy in the blue shirt?
I don't remember the name.
He just knew you were. So
We were all on close custody, so we were pretty much talked to each other, not like we really knew each other, but it was all on close custody. It wasn't nothing but a real handful. So yeah, we talked to each other, played cards and all. sorts of things.
Well, what was his nickname?
I don't remember his nickname.
You don't remember his nickname, don't remember his real name, right?
I don't remember nobody that drew real name or nickname.
I don't understand the point of any of this because this is how I feel about it at the end of the day. Where's my video?
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
He didn't initiate the fight. So, and it wasn't even, I mean, it's not a fight. If it's 2-on-1, it's a fucking ambush. Stop it. Even in prison, that's an ambush. Even the prisoners know that's an ambush. That is not a fight. A fight is 1-on-1. Stop it. Making me annoyed.
What a bunch of a-holes.
All right, let's keep going. And we're all just going to sit here waiting for you to arrive at some type of point. Oh my God. I have to get all this out of me now because tomorrow I need to be professional, sensitive.
Now, Mr.
All the
Singleton,
things.
do you see we're stopped at 46 seconds into the video, correct? And you can see both of your hands at this time, correct? If you need to get up closer, you can.
What? You got that man sitting there. He is shackled and handcuffed, and you're offering him to get up closer. You know he can't move. Why don't you help him? Rude.
And the phones, you're saying the phone must have been, but you agree here, so it appears that you're putting on gloves, right?
No, it looks like I'm taking it off.
I agree with Jackto. I also love maters. It's the one drawback to an otherwise perfect marriage between my husband and I, as he doesn't like tomatoes, but he likes tomato-based sauces. He likes lasagna, he likes spaghetti sauce, all those things, pizza sauce, all that. But as far as fresh tomatoes, no. And I love a tomato.
Is that left hand is there?
Oh my God. Are we going to go through every millisecond of this? Me too, Shekta. That's what I like is tomato with salt on it. But I love them in salads. I love them on sandwiches. I would eat them here or there. I would eat them anywhere. In a box with a fox. I love a tomato. Are we going to go through every freaking millisecond of this video? I'm annoyed. This is annoying.
On your left hand at 49 seconds into the video.
Yeah.
So you haven't taken it off at that point, correct?
Maybe he put the fucking glove on his hand because he's in prison and he didn't want to hold the germy ass telephone. Who knows? Who cares? God. Speaking of things that you should care about, I don't know if you guys kept up with the World Cup. I did. All right. But I also kept up with the people who came from other countries to the United States and the amount of videos they made talking about things they loved about the United States. And do you know what their favorite thing to take back from America is? Ranch, which I have been saying forever that everything tastes better with ranch on it. Ranch is delicious. Ranch is my favorite. Ranch, 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 ranch.
And
Exactly, Shacto. Jails are horrible for germs. They're notorious breeding grounds for all manner of funk. I'd probably talk on the phone and use gloves too. It's just I probably wouldn't even put the phone to my face if I'm being honest. Ugh.
51 seconds in the video, you can still see both hands, correct? And you hadn't taken the glove off at that point either, right?
Hold on a minute. This is an important discussion we're having. This trial is going to be here because he's going to go through every single millisecond of this video to prove absolutely fucking nothing. I don't know what the deal with the glove is. I don't understand it. But Shakta, we need to address this immediately. I don't think I have ever seen those words in that order regarding ranch ever in my life. And I think that there's like, my soul is sad. What? This is like the time somebody came in and said they didn't like Star Wars. That was another piece of my soul that just got sad. Makes me think of when the Nuggie asked me what my favorite color was. I tell her all the time, black, like my soul. And she'll say, I'm gonna pick black today, Granny, because it's your favorite color, like your soul. So funny. She's a funny little thing. All right, here we go.
In fact, it looks like you have
What?
2 gloves.
Hold on. Back the milk truck up. Put it in park. Take the keys out of the ignition. Throw the keys out the window and show me your hands. Melissa says, I am not a ranch fan either. What? What?
Ah, fuck.
What? Mac, what do you think of that? I know, Mac. Can you believe this bullshit? What? Oh my gosh.
I only see one.
Could be, right?
I was probably looking at.
Now, you see Mr. AD walking up to you, correct? That's 55 seconds into the video, right?
That's correct.
And at that point in the video, you can't see your right hand, can you?
No. Probably get back on the phone.
You just don't know what happened to your right hand at that
I mean,
moment.
it could be on the phone, could be at my side, I don't know. I was on the phone, so I had to either be back on the phone.
But it's one of those things that can't be seen on the
It
video.
has to be on the phone.
It's one of those
If it's
things.
not by my side, sir, it has to be on the phone.
It's one of those things that just can't be seen from the video, right? What happened to the glove or the gloves?
That's what I did, sir. I was fighting for my life, man. I got stabbed in my hand.
You don't remember anybody collecting that from you, right?
No, I don't remember. I asked this, that was in my.
Well, I didn't ask you that, sir. I asked you, do you remember anybody collecting the gloves that you had from,
No, sir.
right?
No, sir.
And you don't remember that, do you? Now, We're at 57 seconds into the video. And I'm going to slow motion the video. And before we proceed, you have nothing else in your hand at this time. Is that what you're telling us, Jerry?
Nothing else in my hand. You can see I dropped the phone to defend myself.
Now, I want you to focus on the silver table that's in the middle of the screen, okay? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to look at between the second and third chairs on the bottom of the table, okay?
Okay.
Do you see the object that fell out of your hand and is the little white dot between the second and third chair?
I don't know if the object fell out of my hand. I seen the object before when I was fighting the gentleman. I don't know if it fell out of my hand or his. I had a slice. I did. I had nothing in my hand. As you can see, but the glove in the phone.
Well, you just said you don't have the slightest idea if it flew out of your hand. Is that what you just
I
said?
said, but as you see, when I left the phone, there wasn't nothing in my hand. The phone in the glove. You can see on the video, it doesn't look like I pulled anything out of my pants or anything.
But you see, you acknowledge that there is an object that came out of somebody's hands, right?
And I was fell on the floor. His hand came out of my slice.
And it went under the table, right?
Was I saying yes?
And to your knowledge, it was never recovered, right?
Sir, there's nothing to recover. Seen no report to me. I don't know, they said recovered, I wasn't written up for any contraband or weapons or anything.
So you didn't get charged with anything on this occasion?
I know I didn't. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm defending my life.
Nobody charged you for the thing that you say wasn't in your hand, right?
I got charged for that.
You,
Hold on a minute. Where's Shakto? Where is this? Shakto said the whispering is killing me. I agree, Shakto. It's rude. Say it for the whole class or don't say it at all. Whispering. Okay, Becky said, I just tried Duke's Mayo and man, it supersedes Hellman. Sacrilege! I've heard that, but any opportunity I had to try Duke's has passed. They don't have Duke's in Texas. It's like I think they have it in Georgia, and I think they had it in Florida. But I'm like Sheldon in that way. I like what I like, and that's it. I'm not like Allie. I won't take a risk on a snack or a drink. Like Allie tries all kinds of drinks. Now, if there's alcohol in it, that's different. Then I will try it. But just like regular beverages, no. I like what I like, and that's it.
You agree that the cells inside the unit can be manipulated, tampered with, correct?
Yeah.
In fact,
Honestly, I don't know. Those are the new doors they put on. That was automatic push button. They got a big lock on them, so it's hard to rig those.
but you had tried to rig one before, right?
Yeah, I tried to rig the new doors.
But anyway,
Yeah, everybody.
did you say everybody
Yeah,
had it?
everybody rigged the doors.
In prison, right? Including you, correct?
Just said that.
And this was a close custody unit, correct?
Yes, sir. Close on the top, PC on the bottom.
And you were there because of an assault, correct?
Mr. Farmer, are you finished with the video? Just want to throw the lights back on.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, I think we can all agree that he is definitely the victim, and basically what has happened is nothing but a bunch of victim shaming thus far, blaming, I should say. So let's get to the part where Austin takes the stand. Shall we? Hang on. All right. Give me just a second to get it up on the screen for you guys. All right. Oh, this is a terrible angle for this gentleman. I'm so very sorry. Oh, Melissa. I miss Publix as well. That is the one thing, that is one of the things I miss the most about the Floridas is Publix. Publix and their delicious, delicious fruit bowls. You know, you are not hearing of any of the recalls happening at Publix because of explosive diarrhea, parasitic, contaminated fruits and lettuce. No, you are not. And you know why? Because I'm telling y'all, Publix fruit is grown by the angels, cut by the angels. Well, first picked by the angels, then they cut it up, and then they put it into delicious Publix fruit bowls. They're amazing. Oh, I miss that.
Your Honor, I call.
All right, now we're going to get a really good view of Austin's hair du jour. Look at this. Hold on. Ah! Look at this business. Let's take it back just a scotch, shall we? All right, here we go. Look at that. Y'all, this was intentional. He intentionally did this to his hair. What are you saying? Says, oh boy, who's running the show? Me. Me. I can't take this haircut seriously. He looks like Mo from the back and Justin Bieber from the front. Becky said, why is he in a suit and the victim shackled? Because of the fact that jury is not allowed to see the defendants in jail attire or shackled, as it is prejudicial. I thank you. What are you saying? You good? Cameraman bad. Yes, this cameraman is terrible. And we have sat through many trials together. All manner of camera operators, some better than others, but at this one is probably at the top of the very, very bad list. I agree. Becky said, alfalfa. He part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Wait till you hear the gibberish that's about to come out of his mouth.
Raise your hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Good morning, sir. Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Austin Drummond,
Mr. Drummond, how old are you?
29.
Can you speak up for the jury, please?
I'm 29.
And where have you spent the majority of your life?
I've been in the Tennessee Department of Corrections since I was 16 years old.
What led to your going into the Tennessee Department of Corrections when you were 16 years old?
When I was 16, I was at a party.
Can you speak up, sir?
When I was 16, I was at a party, and I took some Xanax because I blacked out, and I robbed the gas station with a BB gun. And I was charged as an adult and sent to prison.
So
He does look, that is a hard 29. It really is. It really is. It really is.
you have been in the adult prison system since you were a teenager.
Yes.
And what is your weight?
180 pounds sometimes. When I entered the Department of Corrections, 170 pounds.
What is your height?
5'10".
Where did you first go to? Were you convicted of aggravated robbery when you were 16?
Yes, I was.
And were you convicted of retaliation for past action when you were 16 or 17?
I was, yes.
And where did you first go to prison?
I went to Bledsoe for classification, and then I went to Whiteville. It was the first prison I went to.
And is
I'm not able to hear Mr. Drummond. So are you going to speak up or pull the microphone up to you? Okay?
I went to Bledsoe for classification, and then Whiteville was the first actual prison I went to.
And where did you go after Whiteville?
I went to Northeast.
And where did you go after that?
Trousdale.
And where did you go after that?
Hardeman County.
Where did you go after that?
West Tennessee State Prison.
Okay. When did you go to West Tennessee State Prison?
2018.
Where is West Tennessee State or prison?
in Henning, Tennessee.
Yeah, he's claiming self-defense, Becky.
Did you ever feel safe in prison?
No, not at any time.
Have you spent all of the years that you've spent in prison since you were 16, have you ever felt safe?
No,
Did it matter to you whether you were in your cell or not?
no, I've been attacked in my cell before during lockdown time when the doors are supposed to be locked.
And I'd like to direct your attention to May the 1st of 2020, okay? That's where we are.
Okay.
On May the 1st of 2020, where were you imprisoned?
At the West Tennessee State.
And were you attacked on that day?
Yes, I was.
Who were you attacked by?
2 individuals in the blood.
Do you know the names of those individuals?
Michael Walton, and the other one I just know him as Big John.
I didn't hear the last part.
Big John. Where were you located when those individuals attacked you?
I was in my cell. It was during count time.
What is count time?
It's a time when all the inmates are supposed to be locked down and officers count the inmates.
Were those individuals at that time supposed to have the ability to get inside your cell?
No, no one's supposed to have the ability to get inside of a cell, but they do.
Do you know how those individuals got into your cell?
On that specific day, the officer unlocked the doors for them.
An officer.
Yes, Officer Estrella.
Do you know his first name?
I believe it was Oscar.
Oscar Estrella.
Yes, sir.
Do you know if Oscar Estrella was disciplined as a result of that incident?
To my knowledge, he lost his job because of that.
Did that make you feel safe?
No, absolutely not.
Fast forward from May the 1st of 2020 to...
All right, here's the deal. And I'm going to say this because, you know, it is because I'm going to say it. I think he is institutionalized as fuck. I think that's clear. I'm sure that when he was charged as an adult in the 2013 incident, he was 16. He was charged as an adult. I'm sure that at that time that happened because courts were trying to send a message to juveniles that you are not going to get a lighter sentence. They've been trying to send this message to juveniles since the late 80s, early 90s. He wasn't given life without the possibility of parole. He was intended to have served. His sentence was for 13 years. The problem is that in that time, he's had multiple infractions. let me pull it up for you guys, and we'll talk about it while he testifies. I'm not going to make you guys wait while I, tippity tappity type.
August the 29th of 2023. Okay?
Yes.
Did you know Timothy Singleton on August the 29th of 2023?
I had just recently moved into that one 2 weeks before the incident. I knew him as True. That was his nickname.
Do you know why True? Did you know why True was? Well, let me ask you this: is True bigger than you or smaller than you?
Maybe an inch or so taller, but about outweighed me at the time by, I'd say, 50 or 60 pounds, maybe more.
Did you know at that time why True was in the same unit with you?
It was a close custody unit. All the inmates in there were there for disciplinary wounds, mainly assault. I was there for a contraband murder.
All right. So when you look up Austin's situation in prison, if you go to AI mode, and these are documented. I don't want to go to, I know where they're at. They're on WREG, which is the local Tennessee news station that it's been reporting on this case. But basically it says this is the AI mode from Google. All right. Austin Drummond's official Tennessee Department of Correction record reveals a continuous cycle of violent behavior, extensive contraband violations, and active street gang involvement spanning over a decade. Hold on a second. I got a cough. Okay. Drummond's the 13-year robbery and retaliation sentence, 2013 to 2024. Drummond's initial prison term stemmed from a July 2013 armed convenience store robbery he committed in Jackson, Tennessee, when he was 16 years old. Following his arrest, Drummond made explicit threats to go after the jurors involved in his case. He was subsequently indicted on 13 counts of retaliation for past action, pleading guilty to all counts. He received a concurrent 13-year sentence for aggravated robbery and retaliation. He spent the majority of his sentence from 2014 to 2024 housed at the Northwest Correctional Complex in Tiptonville, Tennessee. While incarcerated at Northwest Correctional Complex, Drummond accumulated 25 official disciplinary actions. His infractions documented by state correctional staff included possession of deadly weapons, physical assault, active gang activity associated with the Vice Lord street gangs, refusing mandatory drug screenings. Investigations report from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation reveal that Drummond was charged 4 separate times, specifically for introducing contraband and unauthorized telecommunication devices into a penal. I can't get it together, Bendy. Get it together. Into a penal facility. On November 2023, just 10 months before his scheduled release, photos and videos surfaced from Drummond's active Facebook account showing him living an illicit, highly comfortable lifestyle inside his prison cell. The evidence revealed he had bypassed security to obtain multiple personal smartphones, a television streaming device, and handheld gaming system. Private shelves fully stocked with food and a bottle of Ciroc liquor. Note, state personnel records later revealed Drummond was in a romantic relationship with a female corrections officer working at that exact facility, who was subsequently fired in October 2024. Okay, so In August 2023, Drummond used a modified sharpened toothbrush knife to stab fellow inmate Timothy Singleton 17 times during a targeted prison brawl. Despite the TBI filing felony attempted murder and contraband charges against him for the stabbing, Drummond completed his original 13-year robbery sentence and was released from state custody in September 2024 without community supervision. West Tennessee District Attorney General Danny Goodman Jr. had previously written a formal warning letter to the state parole board stating Drummond was, quote, not capable of living among society. But because his existing sentence had expired, TDOC legally had to release him on bond while the internal prison charges slowly wound through the court system. 11 months after his release, he allegedly carried out the July 2025 quadruple mass murder. So, yeah, he's violent. Well, Tess, I don't think he had this hairdo, then. He used to have more of like, well, it was shaved for a while. And then he had, hold on, let me find it for you guys. This one, this hair du jour. This is what we saw at the preliminary hearing that we watched a month ago. So, yeah. I mean, he had Ciroc for the love of Pete. I thought the same thing too, but are you saying he looks like a smaller Edward Norton? He looks like Edward Norton circa Primal Fear.
The contraband you were in there for?
I had received disciplinary for cell phones and other tobacco and stuff like that.
Prior to August the 29th of 2023, did you and True or Mr. Singleton have any issues with each other?
Out of nowhere, so that day was just a normal day, and I was walking up the stairs, and he grabbed me by the arm and told me that I needed to give him some money by the time he got off the phone. I just looked at him, I didn't know him, I just looked at him like he was crazy, and I continued to walk up the stairs. And excuse my language, but he said, bitch ass white boy, I'm not playing, I'm gonna stick the shit out of you. And I continued to walk to my cell, and I went 2 doors down from my cell and asked an inmate named JD if he had a shank. And the inmate, he gave me a shank. And at that time I went back to my cell, and I continued to watch out the window of my door at Timothy Singleton, who had got onto the phone. Inmate Brown then came to my door and he came in my cell, and he told me that True was down there talking about stabbing, excuse my language, being a bitch ass white boy. And I continued to watch out the door, at which time I saw an inmate bring something to Timothy Singleton, which I saw what looked like to be a silver object being handed to Mr. Singleton. I then saw Mr. Singleton start to put on gloves, at which time I told Brown, I'm finna go see what's going on, what this problem is. So I left my cell and went downstairs, and I intended to ask what's going on. As I approached, Mr. Singleton brandished the knife, at which time I reached with my left hand to try and grab the knife. I was unable to grab the knife, at which time I used my right hand and started to swing at him. A fight ensued. There was some swinging back and forth, and then Brown came out of nowhere and jumped in the fight. At the time, we started to get the better of him, and the officers ended up coming in, and they sprayed I went around the stairs, and as I came around the stairs, Singleton was getting up, and I went back after him. At this time, he hit the ground, and I went to go after him again, and I noticed he didn't have the knife anymore, and that's when I walked away and gave the officers my knife.
Did you ever have any intent to cause Mr. Singleton to die?
Absolutely not during any time did I intend to kill Mr. Singleton. I had 1 year to go home at this point, and that was the last thing I wanted to do.
So you've said a lot, but I want you to back up and break down your testimony a little bit. Okay. Was the first incident between you and Mr. Singleton, was it on the stairs inside the unit?
Yes.
And was that the very first incident?
The very first,
The very first incident between you and Mr. Singleton?
we spoke maybe before in the blood, but there was never any conflict or anything like that.
So it had never threatened you before?
Before that, no.
And he asked you, he told you that you better have some money for him,
By the time he got off the phone,
or else,
he was gonna stick me, which is a word they use in prison for stabbing.
and what did he call you?
A bitch ass my boy.
When that occurred, at the moment that occurred, did you have a weapon?
The moment that he threatened
The
me?
moment that that statement was made, did you have a weapon?
No, I did not.
Do you know how much time passed between that threat and when you walked down the stairs to where Mr. Singleton was standing?
I'd say anywhere 5 to 10 minutes. It was, no, not long at all.
And during those 5 to 10 minutes, did you get a knife?
Yes, immediately after,
Yes or no?
yes.
And during those 5 to 10 minutes, did you continuously monitor from your cell the person who had just threatened you?
Yes.
Did you observe his bodily movements?
Yes.
Did you watch him receive an object from another inmate?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch him put on a glove or gloves?
Yes, I was watching him put on black gloves after he received the object.
Did you feel like you could turn to any of the employees in the prison for protection?
There were no officers in the pod at the time.
Did you feel safe inside your cell?
The doors can be opened by sticking a knife into the side of the door and pulling the lock open.
When you exited your cell and walked down the stairs, had you made up your mind as to whether or not there was going to be a physical altercation?
I was prepared for an altercation, but I did not intend for the altercation to happen. I intended to see what his problem was, but I was prepared for an altercation.
So you were prepared for an altercation, but you hadn't made up your mind.
I didn't know what the problem was.
And when you got close to him, did you see his hand move?
Yes, he had the knife, like, he had it hidden behind his wrist.
Wait, what are you saying? I misunderstood your question, babe. So he wasn't out. This actually happened in prison. What happened is he was serving a term of 13 years from a incident when he was 16 where he robbed a convenience store with a BB gun. And they charged him and tried him as an adult. And he was sentenced to 13 years. Well, then he made threats to the jurors. So he was charged with another, 13 years? Something like that. Hold on, let me go back. And yeah, he made threats to the jurors after he was arrested. And he was indicted on 13 counts of retaliation for past action, and he pled guilty. And he received a concurrent 13-year sentence for aggravated robbery and retaliation. And he had done 12 of those years and had a year to go when this happened. And so basically, I right before this, I'd read all the things that he had done while he'd been in prison. Okay. He had on the 13-year sentence. Okay. He had accumulated 25 official disciplinary actions. His infractions documented by the state correctional staff included possession of deadly weapons, physical assault, active gang activity associated with the Vice Lord Street Gang, refusing mandatory drug screenings, and he had smuggled in cell phones. He had he had photos and videos from his active Facebook account showing him living an illicit, highly comfortable lifestyle inside his prison cell. The evidence revealed he had bypassed security to obtain multiple personal smartphones, a television streaming device, and handheld gaming system, private shelves fully stocked with food and a bottle of Ciroc liquor. And then state personnel records later revealed Drummond was in a romantic relationship with a female corrections officer working at that exact facility who was subsequently fired in 2024. So we're supposed to believe that Papa shook him down? Are you kidding me? Absolute bullshit.
In his hand, and when I came forward, he just flipped it out and brandished it.
Did you do anything did you just have one knife at the time?
Yes, it was,
Which hand was it in, your knife in?
it was in my right hand.
Did you do anything with your left?
That's the first thing I did. I went to try.
Can you stand up and show the truth?
The first thing I did is I tried to grab the knife out of his hand.
And I'll get a record of his testimony when he stands up. So I understand what you're trying to do. He doesn't need to be talking if he's demonstrating. Okay? Just not getting it. Let's give him tell again what he was demonstrating.
Tell again what you were trying to demonstrate.
As I approached, I reached out with my left hand to try and grab the knife out of his hand.
And is that when you raised your right hand?
I was unable to grab the knife from him, at which time I started to swing the knife that I had.
Where had that knife been, your knife been before that?
In my pocket.
It's a good question. How many times have you watched the video that we've seen 100 times over the past 2 days?
I saw it at least 30 times before today.
Would the court allow Mr. Drummond to narrate the video?
Seems reasonable to me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's get it back up.
Put it on
It's going to need to be the exhibit version.
the exhibit version.
Yeah. No,
There's only one version. We're just using a different device.
I'm curious if his co-defendant is going to take the stand. So let's just see.
What I'm suggesting to you is that it needs to be the view there you go, the original.
No.
Thank you. That's what it is.
You mean without Zoom?
Yeah.
So, can you see the screen, Mr. Drummond?
Yes, I can.
Do you see the stairs on the screen?
Yeah, so the stairs where the altercation occurred at on the left.
And here's the thing. Even though this occurred while he was incarcerated and convicted, and for the retaliation, he straight pled guilty. But they're not allowed to introduce any of that evidence or any of his records, right? So the jury is not going to hear about how he was living. They're going to hear that he weighs somewhere between 170 and 180 pounds, and he's 5'10". That's what they're going to, and he'd been attacked before. That's what the jury's going to hear.
The staircase on the left.
Is that where Mr. Singleton threatened to stick you 5 to 10 minutes earlier?
He was standing at the bottom of the stairs, so I was probably 4 or 5 stairs up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and get it.
All right. So if I'm not mistaken, right here, I believe, is the victim.
Stop right there. Mr. Drummond, do you see the individual at the bottom center of the screen right now at 8:43:58?
Yes, I do.
Do you know who that individual is?
I just know that's double. I don't know what's running.
Okay, Mr. Warren. Stop right there. Do you still see, we're at 8:44:02. Do you still see Double and Mr. Singleton? Do you see Double and Mr. Singleton interacting with each other?
I see their exchange, at which time I believe it was
Okay, do you see?
Yes.
And were you watching them at that moment on August the 29th of 2023 from your angle?
Yes, from myself, the window.
At that moment in time, what did you believe? What did you honestly believe?
I believed he was arming himself to stab me like he said he was going to.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Houston. Stop right here. We're at 8:44:30. Do you see yourself on the stairs?
Yes.
At that moment in time, had you formed any intent for there to be physical altercation between you and Mr. Singleton?
No.
Where was the knife at that moment?
I would have been in my right pocket.
Okay, Mr. Moore. 8:44:35. Can you see you making a motion with your left hand and your right hand?
Yes.
Can,
Is that look? Does it look like he's trying to have a discussion? Like a reasonable, rational meeting of the minds? Let's work this out. I don't know what I have done to offend you, sir, but I would like to hear your side and let's see if we can make this right. Does that look like what he's fixing to do? It doesn't look like that to me.
you see on the video Mr. Singleton's right hand at that moment?
No.
Is that because the video doesn't show his right hand at the moment that you saw it?
Correct.
And what again is it you're doing with your left hand?
I'm reaching out to try and get the knife from him.
Okay, Mr. Moore.
So you expect the ladies and gentlemen of the jury and the people watching this stream to believe that Papa over here was trying to shake you down, and if you didn't produce what he was asking you to produce, he was going to give you the shank, and you thought it would be a good idea to come down the stairs, running down the stairs at a pretty quick pace to confront him. But you were scared. Okay. Just want to make sure that we're all up to speed on what Mo Bieber is claiming.
Stop. We're at 8:44:39. You can see where everyone is at this moment.
Yes.
At that moment in time, did you know where Mr. Singleton's knife was?
I believe he still had it in his hand.
Did you know it had fallen under the table?
No.
Did you ever attempt to cause Mr. Singleton to die?
At no time did I ever want to kill Timothy Singleton. I only wanted to prevent myself from being stabbed.
Did all of your experiences, including what had happened to you on May the 1st of 2020, when you were supposed to be locked in your own cell and protected by the state of Tennessee, did all of those experiences
Yes.
affect the decisions that you made on August the 29th of 2023?
Yes, that situation and many more.
Did you feel like you had anywhere else to go?
There is nowhere else to go.
Did you feel like there was any protection?
Other than my own protection. No, there's no protection.
When you're in a cage, who else can protect you?
Only yourself.
The state will have some questions.
Turn the lights on. Mr. Drummond, you admit,
Just a second.
oh, I'm sorry.
Check on
Melissa said, didn't this guy put feces on his cell window? He did. He's done a lot of things. He's done a lot of things. since this incident, previous to this incident, including allegedly murdering 4 people. Now, what were those? What was your beef with those 4 people? I gotta say, I think that this guy is completely institutionalized. But I also think there's an element that exists in him that is just bad. He's just a bad seed, period. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you go into the prison system at 16, 17 years old, you're going to have to click up. You will, to protect yourself, for protection. But he had an opportunity. He was released from prison. I don't understand the quadruple murder. I don't. He just isn't interested in serving his debt to society and then trying to become a productive member of society. He's just not.
Something that will be reported to you.
Okay.
He was released in November, I believe, of 2023, and he committed the murders July 2025.
Lunch is here, if you want to go ahead and break it, you can.
Sure.
Oh, yes. Let's get the jury lunch.
Sure. After lunch. Hang on just a second, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. Mr. Goodman, you were about to start cross-examination. Mr. Drummond, you still here, sir?
Okay, Mr. Drummond, let's first talk about the time you say you were attacked in 2020. And you say you were attacked by 2 inmates?
Yes, sir.
And they came into your cell and attacked you? Did they have weapons?
No, sir.
Okay. And what do you think was going on when they came in?
I was getting robbed.
You what?
Getting robbed.
Robbed? Did they take something?
My concern.
Okay, all right. Did you feel like you were a victim?
Yes.
You were jumped by 2 people. Isn't that the same thing you did, Mr. Singleton?
I had no idea that Brown was going to get involved in that.
Weren't the 2 of you in the same cell?
Yeah, he came and told me what Mr. Singleton was talking about.
Okay. And the 2 of you left together?
He left behind me. I left. I told him I was going to go see what he's talking about, and
Okay.
Brown followed.
Okay, all right. And you said before this happened that Mr. Singleton grabbed you by the arm?
By my wrist.
Grabbed you by the wrist?
You know what, Nate? I've been thinking about that a lot. Nate said, I'm a little surprised he let the baby go unharmed. You know, I've been thinking about that. But as I, initially, I was surprised by it. But then as I started following the case more and learning more about Drummond, I realized that if it is true that he is affiliated, he's not going to want to go back to prison or even to jail awaiting trial, which is where he initially went before he acted a straight fool, and with some type of charge involving a child. So in that regard, I'm kind of not surprised. It was his girlfriend's family, yes. They were all related. It was his girlfriend, her mother, her brother, and, oh gosh, I think the brother's girlfriend. Let me look it up just to be sure.
And told you to get him some money by the time he got off the phone, or he was going to stick you bitch ass wife?
Yes.
Okay. But then you said after that he was at the bottom of the stairs and you were 5 or 6 steps up.
I was walking up the stairs when he grabbed me by the wrist. He was on the side of the stairs. I had my hand on the railing, and he grabbed my wrist.
Okay. And told you he was going to stick you?
Yes.
Okay. Did that scare you?
Yes.
Why did you get dog over?
There was no guard call.
Did you hear Miss Boyd testify?
I saw the video. There's no officers in the pod.
Did you hear Miss Boyd testify?
Yes, I
Did
did.
you hear her say she was in the pod?
She said she came in the pod and there was a fight going on.
Did you hear say that she was in the pod and she was in charge of doing inventory and she was checking different cells?
She said she came in the pod and there was a fight already going on.
Okay.
Okay, so I had that a little bit wrong. Courtney Rose, 38, her daughter, Adriana Williams, 20, her son, Courtney Rose's son, Braden Williams, 15, and Adriana's boyfriend, James Matthew Wilson, 21. Adriana was 20. He kidnapped William and Wilson's 7-month-old infant, who was later found abandoned but alive on a random stranger's lawn in Dyer County. But there are, let me see if I can find these. Something that happened. Hold on. Let me push play. Something happened in July that's important. I want to talk this July.
Did you hear Officer Sansom say that he was standing right there looking in the glass?
Outside the pod?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Couldn't you get his attention if he was looking in the glass?
No, I couldn't see him.
Did you not walk over to the door where the guards were?
No.
Why?
I wasn't intending to fight. That wasn't my intention.
No. Some question. He grabs your arm.
Correct.
Tells you, get him some money.
Correct.
Okay. Why didn't you immediately go over to the area where the guards were?
Because I didn't know the guards were there.
Do you know where the door to the pod is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where the window is?
The window in the office?
Yes.
Yeah, it's inside the office.
Okay. Can you see outside the pod?
I can't get in the office.
Can you, when you go to the door, can you see outside the pod?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you go to the door and look out to see if there was a car right out there?
I didn't want to turn my back to him.
You didn't turn your back to him.
Correct.
But he was on the phone.
No, he wasn't at the time.
Okay, all right. He makes a threat to you.
Correct.
He goes and gets on the phone.
Correct.
What'd you do?
I went and got a knife.
Why didn't you go to where the guards were?
Because there were no guards in the pod.
Why didn't you go look for one at the door?
Because they weren't around.
How do you know that?
Because they weren't. I was in the pod.
Did you go look?
May we approach him?
All right. While they approach, this is what he filed in 2026. Okay. Hold on a minute. Give me a second, you guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. All right. In July 2026, Drummond filed handwritten motions claiming he was working as an undercover confidential informant for federal and state investigators against the very family members he is accused of killing. His filings allege his cover was blown before the murders took place. So I'll read to you guys the motion. All right. He wrote this, and I will say this. Okay. He does have decent handwriting. All right. Let me share it with you guys. Hold on. Let me see something really quick. All right. Says, motion to waive right to counsel and exercise right to self. Hold on a second. I already know about this one. Hold on. This is for him to waive his right. I don't want this. Hold on a minute. Let me keep playing this for you guys.
Getting down to it. Not necessarily because of work. Why didn't you go to the door and look for a guard?
I don't trust officers.
Okay, so now we're getting down to it. Not necessarily because there wasn't a guard there, because you don't trust them.
Well, they weren't there.
Okay, well, you don't trust any guard.
I don't know which ones to trust.
Okay. Has Ms. Boyd ever given you a reason to not trust her?
No, but neither did Officer Estrella.
Okay. Has Officer Sansom ever given you a reason to not trust him?
I didn't really have any association with Sansom.
You what?
I didn't really know who Sansom was.
But he was an officer.
There's hundreds of officers.
Okay. Was there ever an officer in your pod that day that had given you a reason to not trust them?
When they opened the door, I'm not sure who the assigned officer was that day.
Okay. Do you not think that the better idea would be to go and try to prevent something from happening?
No, because it could lead to what happened in the past. And an assault that happened during count time, where they left me into myself.
So you think if you go and report to an officer that you're in danger, that they're going to let someone come harm you later?
It's happened.
And you thought that's what was going to happen that day?
Thought it was a possibility, yes.
Okay. All right. And so you go upstairs, and the first thing you do is say, I gotta get a knife.
Correct.
Why?
Because I didn't have a knife.
Okay. Why did you need one?
Because someone told me they were going to stab me.
Okay. Did he come up the stairs to try to stab you?
No.
Did he make any further attempts to come towards you and stab you?
No. He said if I didn't have some money for him by the time he got off the phone, that's when he was going to stab me.
Okay. So he never made any physical movements towards you in an aggressive manner, did he?
He flicked the knife in his wrist like this.
Raised it up like he was going to stab you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he let you go, didn't he?
No, I'm talking about when I approached him on the phone.
Okay, I'm not talking about that. After he made a threat to you, told you to get him some money,
Right.
he went and got on the phone.
Correct.
He was not a threat to you at that point, was he?
Not immediately, no.
Right. And so you go to your cell and get a knife.
I go to 2 cells down to get a knife.
Okay, go 2 cells down and get a knife. Okay. So you admit that you were possessing contraband in a prison.
Yes.
So you admit that you're guilty of count 2.
Yes.
Okay. So you go to get a knife. What was your intention at that point?
To be prepared to defend myself.
Okay, to defend yourself. Okay. Why didn't you just stay in your cell?
Because there's no cameras in the cell, and if you get caught in the cell, it's usually a lot worse than if something happens out in the middle of
Okay. All right. So you decided the best thing to do was for you to become the aggressor.
No, I wasn't being the aggressor.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you doing?
I was going to try and see what his problem was.
Why?
Because he said he was going to stab me.
Why did you get a knife? Why didn't you ask him what his problem was when he told you his money?
Well, say that again?
All you wanted to do was know what his problem was, right?
Correct.
Why didn't you ask him what his problem was at that time?
He caught me by surprise. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
But, well, if that's all you wanted to do was to ask him that, why did you have to have a knife to ask him a question?
Because he just said he was going to stab me. I didn't know what he was going to do.
Okay. So, did you know he had a knife?
I assumed he did.
You assumed he did, okay. I thought you said, well, you pulled it up.
When I was at the phone, correct.
When you had fun, okay. So when did you see that he had a knife?
When he was at the phone. Or when I believe what he was handing was a knife.
Did you see someone hand him a knife?
I saw someone hand him something.
But you didn't know what it was?
I believe it to be a knife.
But you didn't know?
Not with 100% certainty.
Okay. So you go down and you approach a person, you get a knife, even though they don't have one, and you get a knife, and you go down to confront the person.
Correct.
Okay. Do you not think that's an aggressive move?
No, I just wanted to know what the hell, why he was trying to get money from me. Like I don't know, we never had any dealings before.
Okay. All right. Okay, so you approach him, and you realize he has a knife.
Right.
Why didn't you back up?
I didn't feel I needed to retreat.
Why?
Because he was going out of money.
Well, isn't that the time to retreat? Somebody pulling out a knife?
No, that time to defend myself.
Defend yourself?
Correct.
Is it more dangerous to stand there and let somebody swing a knife at you, or to get out of the way?
Is it more dangerous to stand there or to get out of the way?
Right.
It's less dangerous to take action to prevent myself from being stabbed.
You agree that once you saw the knife, if you would have backed away, he would have been close enough to stab you.
He could have advanced.
Possible, but he could have stood there, couldn't he?
He could have advanced.
But he could have stood there also, couldn't he?
Could have.
Okay. Okay, so you see a knife, and the first thing you do is to start stabbing him.
No, the first thing I do is I reach with my left hand to get his knife.
Did you grab it?
No.
Okay. Well, you saw the video, you said it about 30 times?
Yes.
Okay. When you go over, you reach, and you immediately start to stab.
Yes, I'm prepared. But my first move is defensive. But yes, I'm prepared to use mine as well.
Okay, so that's my question. Your first move is defensive.
Right.
Your next is to stab,
Correct.
right? Did he still have the knife?
Yes.
Okay, in the video, he started swinging wildly at that point, didn't you?
We were both swinging.
Right.
I never made contact until we returned back to the table the second time.
Okay. You never made contact with him?
Until we returned back to the table the second time. I never got him until then. When I fell down and then got back up, that's when I made my first contact.
Okay. But you agree he was swinging wildly at you, right?
Yeah.
Did he hit you?
No.
No?
No.
Did he stab you?
No.
You never got cut, did you?
No.
Never got stabbed anywhere?
No.
But he got stabbed 17 times?
No, he didn't.
Did he get stabbed?
Yes.
Did you stab him?
Yes.
Okay. Did you stab him multiple times?
I'd say at least 4 or 5 times.
Okay. And all that time that he has a weapon in his hand and he's swinging, just I guess you were just lucky and he never hit you?
Well, he dropped it within the first 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, the entire time that this is going on, Mr. Singleton's trying to get away from you.
Nate asks, did he actually have a knife? Did I miss that? So, according to Drummond, he had a knife. However, Mr. Singleton was not charged with anything relating to this at all. And no knife was recovered or found belonging to Mr. Singleton. The only weapon recovered was the weapon that Austin Drummond had. I did find this other motion just for you guys to know. So as soon as we get through his testimony, I'll read it because this is actually kind of crazy and it is handwritten and I have it for you. And I know you guys like my dramatic readings and therefore I will be providing you a dramatic reading. All right, here we go.
No.
He's not?
No.
Did you see him backing up?
He was still swinging.
Was he backing up and swinging?
I mean, he was sidestepping at first. It wasn't immediate backing up.
Because essentially he was backing up and swinging, right?
Correct.
And you were still advancing, right? Why did you run away at that point?
Why would I need to?
To protect yourself. You said you were scared.
I was protecting myself.
By trying to kill him.
No, by using force necessary to stop him from attacking me.
Well, what was your intent with that knife?
To prevent him from stabbing me.
By doing what?
That knife wasn't capable of killing anyone.
Really?
100%.
Okay. All right. It's capable of causing serious injury, wasn't it?
I don't think it was really serious injury.
He got serious injuries, didn't he?
That's what they said.
What the nurse said, didn't he?
They also said he got cut across the top of his forehead. I didn't see any blood.
Did you hear him say that's probably he already cleaned it up and got it stopped? So he stopped?
He also said it was a superficial injury, so yeah, all these serious injuries, and the only one that we cleaned up was a superficial one. It only makes sense.
Okay. All right. So, he starts retreating. You keep advancing. Keep going after him. Keep stabbing. Right?
Yes.
And you keep stabbing over and over and over, right?
I got him 4 or 5 times.
And he was on the ground.
The last time, that's when I realized he no longer had the knife.
Okay, when he was by the table.
Yes.
Right?
He was trying to get up
Okay. And you were stabbing him over and over.
a couple times.
And Mr. Brown was stabbing you.
I don't know what Mr. Brown was doing. I know he jumped in the fight, but I didn't know.
You didn't see him right there beside you?
I saw him right there beside me, but I didn't know if he was hitting, kicking, what he was doing.
Okay. All right. So the guards come in and they spray pepper spray.
Yes.
They break up the fight. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, Mr. Singleton's trying his best to get away from you.
He's backing up.
He's backing up, and he's a good distance from you at that point, isn't he?
I'd say we're 5, 6 feet away.
Yeah, 5, 6 away, not within arm length.
No.
He's not close enough to hurt you.
No.
But you kept coming forward, right?
Yes.
Why?
Nobody was intervening.
Well, what?
No, the officers were just standing there.
Did the officer not just sprayed everyone with mace?
No. They sprayed mace in our direction, but they didn't
Oh,
spray.
they missed you?
Yes.
Oh, so they were not intervening?
Not at the immediate moment they weren't, no.
Okay, so because they missed you with the spray, they were not intervening. Is that right?
They were not intervening at the time where I went back after him, no.
What were they doing?
I don't know what they were doing. I wasn't focused on them. I was focused on Singleton.
Right. Did you hear them say stop, stop, stop?
I didn't hear that, no.
Okay. So he goes back. The guards have come in. They've sprayed mace everywhere. You're back over by the stairs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Brown is back over by the table.
I don't know where Mr. Brown was. So.
Okay? And Mr. Singleton drops back and falls down.
Correct.
Correct? And you come after him again.
That's when I realized he doesn't have a knife, and I walk away.
You come after him again and you try to stab him again, or you do stab him
I
again,
believe
right?
he still have the knife.
That's not my question. My question is, after the guards intervened, the fight broken up, he is no longer a threat because he's laying on his back. Why do you keep coming forward and try to stab him again?
Because I believe he still has the knife. I wasn't
So you were being aggressive.
supposed to let him get back up.
I'm asking you. So you're going to try to prevent him from getting up?
Yes.
You're going to do anything you could to keep him from getting up, right?
I was going to use force necessary.
That's right. And if that meant killing him, that's what you're going to do, right?
Absolutely not.
What do you think would happen if you stab somebody over and over?
They would bleed.
That's it?
With what I had, it was a toothbrush with a screw in it.
Okay. Worked, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't get stabbed.
Yeah, and he did, didn't he? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. After the incident ended, why did you tell Officer Boyd you can't spray worse shit?
That was, after the incident was over. Me and just joking.
You were joking. Okay. You just went through this serious
This
altercation.
wasn't immediately after.
You just went through this serious altercation. You were afraid for your life. You just stabbed a person over and over. You handed the knife with blood all over it to Officer Moore, right?
Right. Well, not to Officer Moore, to Officer Taylor.
Okay. And you joke about it.
I didn't joke about that at all.
Well, you just said you were joking when you said you can't spray worse shit.
She said something to me, and I said something, and that's what I returned with.
And you were laughing and joking.
In a joking manner, I said it, yes. It was laughing. I said it in a joking manner.
Okay. So you weren't too afraid, were you?
It was right after the incident.
Okay. One moment, John. That's what, John.
Mr. Moore, you got one opportunity to examine Mr. Drummond.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Austin. Did you trust the Tennessee Department of Corrections to protect you?
No.
Was that because of your experience in the Tennessee Department of Corrections since you were 16?
Not just my experience, but just
Hang on a second.
Austin, can you describe the device in more detail?
it was a toothbrush that had been melted up in with a screw on it.
How long was it?
It came out like that much with my hand gloves.
Okay. Do you remember what color it was?
It was white, and then the screw was like a dark gray color.
Do you know, when you say screw, you mean
Like a screw you'd see around the house, like that long.
that long? What, how long?
You did an incredible amount of damage to that man with a screw that long. You stabbed him 17 times. One of the lacerations to Singleton's face was so extensive that he had to get stitches on the inside of his mouth and staples to the outside of his mouth. Stop it. You're like minimizing what happened while what your part in it. And don't think I didn't catch your glance over to the jury after the exchange that you had there at the very end with the prosecutor. You're looking at the jury to see if they bought your bullshit.
I'd say maybe an inch or slightly more than an inch.
At the time that you got this device from, what was the name of the individual?
JD.
Did you believe that it was necessary for you to do that in order to avoid harm that you thought was about to happen?
Yes, I believe I needed that to be safe from harm that could come my way.
Did you believe the harm was urgent?
I believe it was forthcoming.
Did you hear Mr. Singleton's testimony?
Yes.
Would you want to kill someone just because they gave clothes to somebody?
I don't know what in the world he's talking about, the blankets and clothes. I don't even know why I would care about that. I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
You don't know why you would care about that. Maybe you wouldn't care about that, but maybe your superior might care about that and might tell you, hey, go put in some work, which is exactly what I think happened.
No further questions.
Sit down, sir.
All right, so there's that's all I really wanted you guys to hear of that. We're going to skip forward. These are the closing. So hold on a minute. Let's see if they go to verdict watch. Let's see what this is.
Okay, that's the instructions. All of the jury verdict forms that I just read to you have a red clip. We'll call it.
Now see, Judge Bev, you paying attention? This judge separates the verdict forms and the instructions with different colored clips. See how efficient that is? Take a lesson, Judge Bev. All right, let me find the verdict or hang on a minute. Let's see. All right, let me get this for you guys. Let me fix this for you. And then we're gonna read this motion.
Yes, sir.
We don't have any more than that anymore. Let's proceed, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Crowe?
Yes.
You're the foreperson of the jury?
Yes, sir.
Has the jury reached a verdict, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And have you handed the signed verdict forms to the officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate your service there. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm going to read the verdict, and there's not to be any reaction in the courtroom. State of Tennessee versus Austin Drummond, case number 26, CR 87, jury verdict, count 1, guilty of attempted voluntary manslaughter. Jury verdict, count 2, guilty of possession of contraband in a penal facility.
All right, so they found him guilty of a lesser charge. He was initially charged with attempted first-degree murder. They found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter and possession of a contraband in a penal facility. Hold on, let me just make sure I got that
Count
right.
1, guilty of attempted voluntary manslaughter.
Yes, attempted voluntary manslaughter.
Jury verdict, count 2, guilty of possession of contraband in a penal facility. State of Tennessee versus Andre Bernard Brown. Jury verdict, count 1, guilty of facilitation of attempted voluntary manslaughter. Count 2, not guilty. I'm going to ask each of you, I need to look at each one of you and get affirmative.
All right, so he'll be back in court August 31st for sentencing. Okay. Now let's get over here to this motion. And why I want to show you guys this motion is because this pertains to his next trial, which is the quadruple murder and aggravating kidnapping charge. He's also got some firearms related charges as well, and the state of Tennessee is seeking the death penalty should he be convicted. Jonah's mom, hey babe, says I should be leaving rehab Tuesday or Wednesday. I can walk with a walker. That is amazing. Yay! Congratulations, babe. I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic progress. I'm so excited. Now, the reason I want to show you guys this is because the last time we were in court was for Austin's was the preliminary hearing, and he also wanted to go pro se. Okay, there was testimony. It was his oh my gosh, why can't I think of what it's called? It'll come to me. I'm so sorry, you guys. I feel like an idiot. What is that called? It's not a it's not just, it's, yeah, preliminary hearing where they, the state basically puts on a little bit of the evidence that they have against the defendant. It's called something else, and it's not that it is a preliminary hearing, but it is not, that's not what it's called. It's, that I cannot think of it. The prison attack was August of 2023, Kimberly. What the hell is that called? Why can't I think of that? All right. So at that hearing, no, not the arraignment. It's not pretrial motions. Hold on. This is going to make me mad. Hold on. Probable cause, preliminary hearing or probable cause. Okay. That's what it is. It's a probable cause hearing. That's what it's called. Sorry. It was the probable cause hearing. There you go. I had to Google it. I can't believe that. I could not remember what it was called. All right. So during that preliminary hearing, he wanted to, he made a motion to go pro se. And basically, the judge read his motion, talked to Austin at Drummond, and basically told Drummond, no, you are not qualified. And the reasons that you have given are not how do I want to put this? They don't rise to the level of like irreconcilable differences where you just cannot get along with your defense attorney. This is what happened with Sarah Boone. All of her attorneys asked to be dismissed. So because of irreconcilable differences, because it's, I mean, we've all met Sarah Boone. We're familiar. Okay. And so that is, they were not compelling reasons. So, basically the judge said no. Now, this is what he filed May 15th, 2026. All right, make sure you guys can see this. Yes. Comes now defendant Austin Drummond by pro se and respectfully moves this honorable court to order the district attorney general or any law enforcement officer or any other person acting in conjunction with or on behalf of any law enforcement to allow the defendant to inspect or photocopy any books, papers, documents, or tangible objects obtained from or belonging to the defendant, obtained from others in possession of, that are related to this above case. That's not what I wanted to read. Hold on. This is not. No, this was not the one that I wanted. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. This is not it. This is for a motion for additional discovery. For whatever reason, this is not what I wanted, and it should be here. Here's the order denying. But he filed a motion, and I'm not sure why it's not here, because I went to the clerk of court, State of Tennessee versus Austin Drummond, blah, blah, blah. They've had a high volume of requests. Use the links to review or download the available records. But there's another one. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. They already handled this. We already saw the hearing about this. He's asking for stuff that he's never going to get. Not for him. But this is something interesting. So basically, hold on. I will just tell you the gist of what he tried to file. Let me see if they... In July 26, high-profile Tennessee murder suspect Austin Drummond filed a motion to expand existing gag order to include local social media figure Burton Staggs. Filed on July 2nd. Drummond's motion argued that Staggs' posts, which labeled Drummond a psychopath and claimed inside knowledge regarding the movement of the victim's remains, pose a substantial threat of prejudicing a fair jury pool. All right, let me look at this. All right. Basically, Austin claims that he was a confidential informant working against the victims he's accused of killing. All right. In a motion to disqualify the 29th Judicial District Attorney's Office, Drummond claims he began working as a confidential informant in April 2025 following a meeting with Assistant District Attorney Andrew Hayes, ATF agents, FBI agents, and Tennessee Department of Corrections Narcotics and a Tennessee Department of Corrections narcotics investigator. Drummond includes what he says is a letter from ADA Hayes dated April 28th, 2025. There's a copy of it here, so let me share this for you guys to see. All right. Drummond includes what he says is a letter from ADA Hayes dated April 28th, 2025, addressed to his then attorney, Drew Farmer. the letter states the DA's office, quote, will not prosecute Mr. Drummond for his statements made to investigators last week, the cocaine he disclosed possessing, or any other crimes he commits or may commit while working with federal and or state law enforcement agents under their direction. And this is the letter. All right, it says, please take this letter as a formal outline of our agreement with Mr. Drummond to briefly summarize the District Attorney's Office for the 29th Judicial District and myself as a Special Assistant United States Attorney with authority to prosecute cases in the Western District of Tennessee, will not prosecute Mr. Drummond for his statements made to investigators last week, the cocaine he disclosed possessing, or any other crimes he commits or may commit while working with federal and or state law enforcement. This is Exhibit C. If Mr. Drummond commits a crime without agents' authority, knowledge, or direction, etc., the state of Tennessee and the United States of America reserve, I think, the right to prosecute Mr. Drummond for those offenses. Mr. Drummond's level of cooperation will affect the outcome of his pending criminal cases in Lake County, Tennessee. Okay. But what they're talking about there is certainly he would not have they would never give him or tell him under their direction to commit murder for the love of Pete. They're talking about buying drugs. That's it. That's all. That's ridiculous. All right. An email included as an exhibit purportedly from Hayes to another district attorney describes Drummond as someone who, quote, provided the most information I've ever heard from a defendant and had, quote, the ability, rank, and trust within the gang to really blow a lid off the prison narcotics trade. This is so, I can't read this at all. Drummond claims his cover was blown before the murders and that he was subsequently charged. WBBJ has not independently verified the authenticity of these documents. Drummond's motion also accuses District Attorney Danny Goodman Jr. of making false and misleading statements to media outlets following his August 2025 arrest. Drummond points to a Fox 13 report in which Goodman said his office had asked for Drummond's bond to be raised before the murders. Drummond argues the opposite is true, that Goodman's office withdrew its motion to revoke his bond so he could continue working as an informant. Typically, quote, typically what we do is we try to get those, there's a hole right there, of while they're incarcerated so they don't actually get released. He said Drummond was assigned a bail amount of $30,000, but the legal process unexpectedly slowed down. What happened in this case is he had an attorney that he retained, and so we started the process, had several different court dates, and the attorney ended up getting his license suspended. When he did, that caused a big delay. He said by the time there was a new attorney, Drummond was released from prison. Then he was arrested for the attempted murder charge by Lake County deputies. The judge assigned a $100,000 bail for that charge, which Drummond posted. Goodman said his office tried to get the amount increased. We always ask for a higher bond, especially on a case like that, and we did in that case. You know, ultimately, it's the judge's decision, said Goodman. Fox 13 asked Goodman what his office asked to increase the bail to. His response, quote, honestly, I don't remember what we asked for. Fox 13 then asked if Drummond was given any bond conditions. Goodman responded, quote, at that time, there wasn't, because there was actually not a need for a restraining order because the incident happened inside the prison facility. So typically the only bond requirement is that they stay in contact with their attorney, which he did do. Drummond is due back in court. This is an old article. He also highlights a contradiction between Goodman's public statement that, quote, there is a clear motive to this case and the state's own court filing, which lists an aggravating factor that, quote, the murder was committed at random and the reasons for killing are not obvious or easy to understand, end quote. Drummond argues those statements violate Tennessee's Supreme Court rules of professional conduct and constituted grounds for disqualifying Goodman and his entire office from the case. In response to a request for comment, Goodman said, quote, Mr. Drummond is still represented by an attorney. Therefore, his pro se motions should not be heard. On July 2nd, 2026, Drummond asks the court to add a man named Burton Staggs to what he describes in his filing as an existing gag order in this case. Drummond alleges Staggs, who has a combined social media following of more than 200,000 across multiple accounts, made posts claiming to have been present when the victim's remains were moved, referenced autopsy findings, and called Drummond, quote, a psychopath. Drummond argues those posts pose a, quote, a substantial likelihood of prejudicing a fair trial. A private investigator named Heather Cohen was previously added to the order after the state argued her social media post based on text messages from Drummond's iCloud account could taint the jury pool. Cohen had approximately 1,800 followers at the time of that order. That's interesting. He's represented but filing pro se. And also, that name of the private investigator sounds familiar, but I'm not sure why. This is interesting. There's also a motion to quash, which I find interesting because of who filed it and what they, the entity that filed it. So I want to read that to you guys as well. Okay. And let me see, this was filed the 27th day of April of 2026. The state of Tennessee Department of Children's Services moves this honorable court to quash the subpoenas for production of documentary evidence issued to the Department of Children's Services, or in the alternative, for an order requiring an in-camera review followed by a protective order as set out below. The department's motion is based upon the following. A total of 5 subpoenas issued in this matter were received by the records custodian for the Department of Children's Services requesting DCS records on the following individuals: Austin Drummond, James Matthew Wilson II, Adriana Sabri Leilani Williams, Braden Williams, and Courtney Sabri Rose. The department asserts that said subpoenas should be quashed, or in the alternative, the court should issue an order requiring an in-camera review followed by a protective order for any records that may exist with the department for these individuals. The subpoenas request that the Department of Children's Services produce records concerning reports of child abuse, intake, investigative files, and case notes, assessments, court documents, placement records, and medical and psychological records, all of which, if they even exist, would be confidential and should not be released to the defendant in this manner. Then Tennessee codes make all reports of child abuse confidential, including an information obtained in receiving or investigating reports of child abuse, and directs that they shall not be disclosed except as specifically authorized by one of several enumerated exemptions. 5. In the present matter, none of the enumerated exceptions are applicable, and therefore the subpoenas should be quashed. If the court determines that the records may contain portions that Mr. Drummond is entitled to under the law, the proper procedure is an in-camera review by the court. And then they cite a case law. In that case, the court concluded that an in-camera review is an additional mechanism for protecting a defendant's confrontational rights and statutorily protected records. If the court determines the document should be produced, the department requests that the court enter an order requiring an in-camera review accompanied by a protective order to address any portions of the file that are subject to disclosure. So that took place. I just think that's interesting that this is yes, Chacto's right to dismiss or to dismiss. They want him to stop the subpoena. They want the judge to stop the subpoena. But I just think it's interesting that that he's requesting he's requesting DCS records in Tennessee, because that is what Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, wants from Tennessee, DCS, in the lawsuit. Because the way that he talked about the records that he received, because Seth Rogers, through an attorney, a family court attorney, requested those records pertaining to Sebastian from DCS. And what he got were redacted. Those were his words. And he talked about that on his latest live. I covered that last week. So I'm curious what that means for how DCS is going to handle this lawsuit, should the lawsuit make it past the dismissal. Because I think that the respondents in this case, DCS, and the sheriff's office are going to file motions to dismiss. And I think I'm very, very curious if the DCS case makes it past that motion to dismiss, how all of this is going to play out, given that Sebastian, so that what they're asking for is what Drummond is asking for is any DCS records related to himself and all of the victims. Well, one victim is still alive. Let me just go back and find that. Where I just was at. Give me just a second. Hold on. Austin, James, Adriana. They're all. Hold on a minute. I just want to do a double and triple check. Hold on. Because this got me off in a whole other rabbit hole. Okay, yes. All the CPS records that Austin is requesting pertain to the victims, and they are deceased. Not, this is not the victims that he's requesting is not the surviving child. Okay, so if DCS, excuse me, in Tennessee is unwilling to give records over like that for deceased individuals, how do you think they're going to react to giving over records to someone who, by all accounts, Sebastian is still alive? He's not been found one way or another. The case has no resolution. So I'm very, 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 very curious about that side quest, because I don't know how this is going to go. So I'm curious about that. So tomorrow, bright and early, at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Mountain, and no, that's wrong. Right? What is it? 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Mountain and Pacific. Or no, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. There you go. There we go. I got it now. We're going to start the Lindsay Clancy trial. And just, if you missed me and Amber, ATS News, I was on her channel last night. We had a really, really important and really good conversation. The who in this trial is not in question. Lindsay Clancy has essentially pleaded not guilty, but she's not guilty by, she's saying that she doesn't have, it's tantamount to a not guilty by reason of insanity. It's called something else in Massachusetts that escapes me at this time. But anyway, so it's not a question of did she, it is a question of her mental state at the time. And she and her attorneys are saying that she suffered from postpartum psychosis, which is very, very different than postpartum depression. And so the first witness to be called tomorrow after opening statements is going to be her ex-husband, Patrick. And where this is the only day that I'm not going to start late, because I think that his testimony, I think what we learned from his see, here's the deal. He has a civil lawsuit out as well. And so basically he is saying that the doctors, she sought help, they failed, and they over medicated her. And they're what caused her to have this psychosis that resulted in her strangling their children. And then subsequently, she sliced her wrists and her neck and jumped out of a 2-story window. So she's paralyzed from the waist down. And so he has a civil lawsuit out. He is a witness both for the state and for the defense. And the state contends that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this was premeditated first-degree murder. I don't think so, Melissa. I don't know. Melissa asks, is the defense questioning him too as their witness so he doesn't have to um, testify twice? I'm not sure. Usually, like when we watched Carly Craig, her stepfather was called twice. And this is where it gets a little sticky because technically he is the victim's representative because he is their father. So usually the court will allow the victim's representative, even if they are a witness, to remain in the courtroom. Sometimes they'll say, okay, you, or they don't. They put a sequestration order on them, right? So that's why they're having him testify first. But then he's also lack of criminal responsibility. Thank you, Shakto. That's what it's called. So it's going to be very interesting how the state treats him. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, and so likely Neat said he'll avoid sequestration. So likely what will happen is he'll be allowed to sit through the trial because he's testified. So, but then he's on the witness list for the defense too. So it'll just be interesting to see how it goes. I want you guys to know that I know that the trial is incredibly, it's obviously horrific. Okay. Anytime children are murdered, it's awful. Anytime anybody's murdered, it's awful. Children are particularly heinous when children are murdered by a parent, or a step parent, or somebody that they knew and trusted. It adds another layer of heinous to it, right? But I want you to know that there have been motions filed and granted that are going to really limit that type of testimony because, again, it's not really the who. They don't necessarily have to prove her guilt. What they have to prove is, because it's an affirmative defense, so what they really have to prove is that it was first degree murder. It was premeditated. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was in her right mind. She did it. So that's really what is, I don't think so, Brandy. I don't think he will be back-to-back questioned on the stand. I think what will happen is he will be questioned by the state. He'll be their witness in their case in chief. Once they rest their case, then he may be called by the defense for their case in chief. So I don't think that he will be I don't think that he's going to just get to testify one time and then be done. I think that they have to, so the state has to prove premeditation, but we're not going to get to hear or have to hear like his 911 call. There's going to be a lot of first responders, but their testimony is supposed to be pared down because a lot of it is repetitive. And I think the jury, and I think the judge agrees with this, they only need to hear the details of what first responders saw when they arrived one time. They don't need to hear it from 27 different first responders, So I think that it's going to be a very interesting trial. I'm going into it with an open mind. I don't know what happened. I am I'm anxious to see the case that's presented by both parties, because the defense made a motion for an expert witness to testify, but they were late in noticing the state, and they are not, that witness is they're not going to allow the judge said no. So one of their expert witnesses for the defense is not going to testify. So I'm very curious about how it's all going to go. Neither have I, Tess. This is one of those that I am very conflicted about. And one of the reasons I'm conflicted is because postpartum psychosis is extremely rare. And the only person that I have ever truly believed had it was and is Andrea Yates. I mean, the fact that the woman has been eligible for release multiple times and refuses to apply for it, she wants to be exactly where she is, speaks volumes to me. And also, with Andrea, her mental health issues that were separate from the postpartum depression that led into postpartum psychosis were well documented for years. She had other mental health issues that had nothing to do with her being pregnant or having just given birth. And I think obviously we want to be very, very careful in when somebody takes another life and they're claiming any level, any type of insanity defense. We have to be careful. We have to scrutinize it. And because I have intentionally stayed away from the details of this case, because I wanted to wait for the trial. I'm going in with a completely open mind. So we'll see. But anyway, you guys, I will see you guys in the morning, bright and early. I'll schedule it tomorrow because I want to make sure that notifications go out. So you guys, so people that want to watch the trial and were wondering if I was going to cover it, but maybe missed the announcement, they'll know. And this is interesting to me as well. Tess says, psychologically, I don't think we know enough about the differences in postpartum depression and psychosis. And the thing is, one of the arguments that the state is making towards premeditation is the fact that they say that Lindsay sent her husband on an errand to pick up dinner and I believe stop at the pharmacy and pick up medication for one of the children who was ill. And then they say, the prosecution says, the state contends, alleges that she also, in the interim, checked location services to see how long it would take him to get there and back. And so I find this discussion extremely compelling because when a person is in true psychosis, their perception of reality is completely skewed. However, and this is what I find so fascinating about the human brain, it's still their brain. It's not like they're in a psychosis, but they're not able to like walk or talk or look at their phone, things that they already knew how to do before they became in this state of psychosis. So the argument that because she sent him on an errand, because she looked at how long it would take, how long he would be gone, how far away it was, is that actually a compelling, can't the argument be made both ways? Because the same brain, no matter how you're looking at it, whether you believe it was premeditation or you believe she was in psychosis, the same brain exists in that person. It's the same, either act is coming from the same brain. So if it's just interesting to me. And so I want to hear what they have to say. And I'm very interested in also, as you guys know, so I talk about this like all the time, how we deal as a society and in the criminal courts, the justice system. How do we deal with people who have mental illness and commit crimes? It's very confusing, Tess. It is very confusing. And that's why I want to hear the evidence. And I got to be honest with you. What we're looking at here is the state going to meet their burden? And then conversely, is the defense going to meet their burden? Because they both have a burden here. Normally, the defense has no burden. But in this situation, under these circumstances, the defense does have a burden of proof. And I will say this. Do I think that we're going to walk away from this case feeling that we know the majority of the answers to our questions? And I've got to say, I don't think we will. I think this is going to be one of those cases where we are going to still have important questions. Every case you have questions, but some of those questions in the scheme of things really aren't important questions. But I think in this case, I think we're going to walk away with important questions left unanswered. So we'll see. Maybe we won't. We'll find out starting tomorrow. The trial is supposed to last 6 to 8 weeks. So let's get through it together. All right. If you haven't done so, please, you guys, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you feel. If you made it this way and if you've made it this far and you're on the replay, same to you. And hey, would you mind giving your girl a hype? It helps and it's free. All right, you guys. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right. You guys have a great, rest of your evening. And I'll talk to y'all later. I didn't mean to burp. I'm so sorry. Bye, you guys.